stream in a minute.
Bump. And one of those. Hello, everybody. I don't care at this point in time. I'm fucking.
Sweet audio.
No, audio works. Audio works.
No more 1 hour of
But
Hey.
as soon as I start, myself is just a little to the side. I don't know why. I was just my video. Whatever. Welcome to Star Trek Adventures. It's May the 4th +1. Be with a Star Trek. My yearly show where I shit on Star Wars, not because I hate it, but just because it's funny, by playing Star Trek on that day. But since I was playing Star Trek with a different group yesterday, on the actual day, we're doing it today. So it's +1. So this year with me, I have an interesting cast of characters, most of them using their PC token images, except for Erik, who's nice enough to be in existence.
You don't want me on camera.
You will lose viewers if I turn my camera off.
It's fine. It's fine. Why don't we just give we'll kind of go through the list. Everybody will just give who they like, what their character.
Long. Look at it on stream.
Oh my god.
I can't.
Oh.
Yes,
I couldn't.
Glad you pointed that one out.
I'll call out people and then you can like tell me like to say basics about your character, just really basics, a quick thing.
Lightning, I expect to hear this full name when it's your turn.
Eric, you're next to me in this entire endeavor.
Yes. Yeah, so I am Benedict Hershlag, the only... actually, hold on. I'm not the only human. I'm the only actual... I am not the only not human. But I am, I am a security officer from Earth originally.
Yeah.
I guess that's the best description. I don't know if you want me to like do actual...
That is fine.
Alright, cool.
I might just note in here for folks that are looking. I'm not going to spell your case. You're the security chief. There you go. It's in the bottom there. Momo.
Hi, I'm playing Sisha, or Charlotte, because she adopted a name easier for humans to say. And she is a Catian, and I think the chief flight controller.
Con officer, chief flight controller, one of those roles there.
It's something expendable because there's multiple of them in the show constantly.
Yeah.
Everyone has to fly the ship.
They're usually they're the ones that if you're watching Next Generation are to the right of Data and their console always explodes and they die horribly or something.
Yeah. They're horribly expendable, so I won't be here for season 2.
Not if I can help it. Not on my watch.
Umber.
Hi, I'm playing Marie Laforge, who severely idolizes Jordi Laforge. He was given this name by people trying to make fun of him. Unfortunately, he found it of the highest honor and adopted it. His real name is Urbar, but the humans can't seem to pronounce the name properly, so he prefers going by Meowdy Laforge.
Oh my god.
Lightning,
Your turn.
No.
Do it!
Oh god, here it comes. Alright, I am 2 of 8, tertiary adjunct of Trimatrix 55. I'm a liberated Borg from a captured colony from many years ago. My name is very long. Excuse me, my designation is very long, so some people jokingly call me Steph. I don't know why. It's some kind of joke, I guess. I'm a medical officer. I also can hurt you, so don't make me mad.
And the humans thought our names were too difficult.
Those silly humans.
And Carpe.
Yep, I'm Bob. My creator did not give me any further name, so I had to make up the rest of it myself. I am Bob, the optical biofacsimile. I am the science officer, but you can find me anywhere in the ship, or at least anywhere there are holo projectors. And I also have a mobile emitter, so that apparently I can hit things too.
I like to imagine
Yeah,
your mobile. I like to imagine your mobile emitter is just a Roomba.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
A hover Roomba.
Yeah, hover Roomba.
Because
As he's
difficult
trying to
terrain.
intimidate, the Roomba hits a rock, and he just like
Yeah.
stops it.
Hold
Hold
on.
on, let me get around this.
There's a real problem with the cat chasing it around.
There's
Oh,
a cat sitting on it as
We,
it hovers around.
yeah.
Oh my god. Amazing.
so yes, just yes. So you've been the crew aboard the USS Chimera. All of you have had your positions for a number of years now. You've kind of settled in. Your captain is, of course, I'm going to just copy this into chat here. Captain Yolan, a Denoblian male. He's known for his a very generous and friendly attitude, and he treats his entire crew as family. Okay, thank you. There's of course Dr. Novel Roger, who is the chief medical officer. Now, the problem with Dr. Roger is he is a genius when it comes to medicine, but he's kind of a laid-back kind of guy, and you know, he doesn't have a great attitude, and that's one of the reasons that Steph was assigned to him to be basically keep some seriousness to him. If he wasn't such a medical genius and did a lot of great things, he probably would not be in the position he is now. Then there's the twins, Brick and Brock Crushington. They are important members of the crew. Brick is known to be the basically second in command of security. He was kind of like a little bit of a meathead, but he kind of hides the fact that he does have some intelligence behind him. And his twin brother Brock is in engineering, and kind of acts a little bit the opposite. Tries to think first, but also isn't against using a little bit of muscle when it comes to fixing things.
He is very effective when we need to fix the pipes.
Oh god, I can't spell. Damn name! I was too
Bob
slow.
And of course, there's Skig Bob,
Oh.
the
I see you are of the Farmel humans.
the Tellarite Conqueror. I spelled it so wrong. So wrong. Counselor.
Excuse me, Miss Concular.
At least it's not the Tellarite concubine.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Oof.
That's a lot better.
Oh, God.
I mean, she might be very attractive to Tellarite males.
I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion either way.
You wouldn't.
That's absent-mindedly. I copied the misspelling of counselor to my cheat sheet.
As you do.
is the DM. I just copy and pasted that.
Absent-mindedly,
The Famo, that's me. That's my title. I'll admit to that.
yeah.
So, you've been going on a kind of exploration mission for a while now. And you recently, a couple months ago, came back into Starfleet, like a main area of Starfleet. You were asked to do a little bit of relief and patrol over towards the neutral zone in that region of space. Now, granted, you are still probably a good number of light years away. When, of course, the captain, Captain Yolan, will basically call for his staff to come to the ready room. He has a first mate who I can't insert first mate here. I will give a name
Insert
later.
First mate.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Body.
Steve, it's Steve.
No, it's
First name Sum.
Eve. No, Steve.
Come on.
Body.
Oh, you're gonna do the
No.
the weird spelling?
I fixed it. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Steve Eve,
Oh,
trill
right.
female.
Stavi.
Steve Eve.
Steve.
Trill female. There you go.
I hate it so much.
This is a very serious game.
Very,
Very
incredibly.
So, yeah, all of you will be called upon to come to the meeting in
Even
about
the
2
medical
hours.
officer?
Because Dr. Roger is not that, what's the word for
Okay.
say?
Dependable.
Dependable.
Begrudgingly, I'll be like, all right, I suppose I'm needed. You stay here.
No,
Don't
it's-
mess anything up.
He has the mind of a researcher. He's not.
That's actually probably what it is. He's the mind of a
Oh, yeah.
researcher, and he's like a medical genius.
Oh no.
And like, if you need to get him into surgery, he'll do great. But like, he's awful at command and the regulations and stuff.
He is worse than I am at. Well, actually, no. He is slightly better than I am at command.
Yeah,
Why he is-
Regulations.
it's the only
Who needs
reason he's
those?
technically in charge.
Greetings, Captain. What is it you need?
So yeah, everybody will be kind of come together at for like get into the ready room, kind of assemble.
Here's the most important question, though.
Mhm.
Do I have a standard uniform?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
No 7 and 9 shenanigans up in here.
Hey, you know what my full picture looks like.
Yeah, and they have a Nebula
yeah,
class stuff. Nebula class ship.
Charlotte enters the room with holding a coffee cup with her tail.
Mm-hmm.
She has a prehensile tail, and she's just just doing that.
The captain's probably already here, working on something on a data pad with what looks to be like I would assume something more akin to like an iced tea, but probably something that is like a Denoblian make, so like an herbed cooled beverage.
She will take her seat, but she's going to like sit kind of weirdly, kind of like with one leg sort of
Swung up over the back of the seat.
like hanging over like the side of the arm,
Mhm.
kind of like that. The most uncomfortable way one could sit.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. The occasion.
I stand at ready,
Yeah.
unless told to sit.
Just Steph,
Bob
just
slipped into one of the chairs.
yeah.
Your legs are just clipping through the seat.
Oh god, Bob's a Bethesda NPC.
Oh, no.
Sorry, he must have left no clips on.
Mm-hmm. Please, Bob, just adjust your mobile emitter, and Steph, it's all right to sit.
Okay, I will sit.
My apologies, Captain.
It's fine. They'll wait for Benedict and Meowdy to show up too.
That Meowdy, always late.
Meowdy's already shown up. He's sitting in his seat.
You just didn't notice.
Benedict waits until after he did the thing where he arrived first and he was standing outside the door just to politely open the door for everyone, even though the door's open independently. He insists on standing outside.
Yeah, he moves an arm out whenever they right before they're coming in, so the doors are open ahead of time, and they're like, it senses us and opens, but no, yeah, it's fine. It's the way things are done.
I insist on doing this no matter how often everyone tells me that I do not need to do this. And then I stand in the back, and when he says Steph can sit, I'll go and sit down too.
Okay. All right, everybody. We have a top secret mission from Starfleet. Since you were my brain is farting. Command staff. Since I've been informed to tell you, my command staff, the extent of our mission. Some of the basics will be kept secret, even from the crew, for now. But basically what's going on is a scientist, a Dr. Ja Brennan, has been working on developing a new type of photon torpedo. He's had some success, and we are to assist in a test run of the new photon torpedo. Now, the reason why our ship is being called in is that his laboratory has been relatively close to the neutral zone. Now, how things have been with Romulans have been relatively peaceful currently since the Dominion War, but that doesn't mean we're not suspecting that there could be some members of them that would want to take advantage of new development such as this and, get the information. That's another reason that why we're there, just to make sure everything stays safe. We are to oversee the information and do our best to ensure that this test and the results of it remain secret.
As you wish, Capitan. Do you have any ideas for how we will accomplish this?
Well, for now, we're going to be heading for the planet Takara. There we go. I gotta move this over to the main screen. Which is approximately 20 years from the, or 20 light years from the neutral zone.
20 years. Amazing.
Yeah,
I'll
20 light years.
Man,
Please be on alert, and I would like to have any security measures that you think would be appropriate to ensure that no access to this potential weapon, especially the Romulans, is done. Benedict, why don't you be in charge of that? You can gain assistance from Meowdy or Bob if you need to, if there's anything you need to put together or develop for the security.
Yes, sir. Are there particular security concerns?
Most of them are because, of course, the Romulans have cloaking devices. We don't know if they're going to be observing or attempting to steal any information. Perhaps like tachyon sweeps or something that you can be constantly running, or some kind of maybe like a tachyon barrier or something that you can develop. I don't know. Come up with some ideas. We just have to ensure security here for the test.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'll get around that.
Mm-hmm. As I said,
Don't worry, Benedict. I understand what he means.
While he's talking, I'm like on the data pad, just like Googling what tachyon is.
That sounds
This is
about
why
right.
you have your good friends in engineering to help you out, Benedict.
Yes, incredibly valuable members of staff. We all are. Oh, God.
Charlotte, in the initial test, it'll be probably a stationary target we'll be placing the torpedo into. There might be need for further tests against something like a moving target. If that is, I want you to work on programming a course for said moving target if the initial test goes well.
I can absolutely do that for you, Captain.
And since we don't know the exact results of this, I'd like the medical staff to be on standby in case things go unexpectedly.
Affirmative.
All right then, people. Let's make sure this is a by the books test. Charlotte, set a course for Takara.
Of course.
All right, you'll break apart as then the ship will prepare itself for going to there. Now, I will give you the option. Is there anything you do want to develop? I gave 3 names so you could brainstorm between you if there's anything you want to put together for security. If not, we can skip right into arriving for the test.
I mean, I would see if engineering can develop either of the things the captain suggested. I will offer no original suggestions. I will just say basically exactly what the commander said and say, is this possible?
I believe that something could be done. We could short-term upgrade our sensor suite to try and be more effective at picking up the Romulan ships if they are in the vicinity. Surely they will leave some sort of particle emissions behind that we may be able to tune our sensors to detect.
I don't think the captain's expecting a miracle here, but if we can have some heads up if the Romulans are coming in, don't want to be caught with our pants down.
Of course.
I don't think Romulans being here would be a miracle, sir.
Does it sound like I was saying that? I meant it like, you know, like it would be yeah, but you know.
This is fine, Benedict. I understand you completely. I will have
excellent.
I will have my engineers begin working on it immediately.
Good. I will make some preparations. Let me know if you have any headway with that.
Absolutely. As soon as we are finished, I will let you know the upgrades that have been made.
All right.
Bob, I look around for the for his
Roomba?
form when I call out to him. Is there any any places that he can appear nearby?
I'm going to say because your
I
ship,
have a normal human form.
Yeah.
It's just very generic.
yeah,
Gotcha.
and the mobile emitter is usually used for kind of away missions and stuff like that. I'm going to
Yeah,
say,
I figured he would mostly have different places
probably
on the ship he
in key areas of the ship, there probably is holographic emitters that were placed in. During a lot of the experiments with the emergency medical holograms, they did the same by putting in key areas of the ship, definitely like emitters for this medical doctor that they could call him that was holographic. In the same way, Bob can use the same things. Bob is just a much more advanced AI and program, similar to how similar levels of probably Data's AI. So it's sort of that's kind of where it's at.
I'm gonna find an instance of Bob, and I'm gonna say, can you comb through any Starfleet records, see if anyone has cited any Romulan ships out this way? I don't think that they would tow so close to the neutral zone, but I'd just rather be safe than sorry.
Certainly.
Okay. I guess if you want to look into Starfleet records, why don't we have you roll? Let me take a look here what I want you to roll. Thank you, character. She could maybe I'll say for this one it would be reason security, because we're really looking into the patterns that are going on right now, and what info.
Okay.
Difficulty.
Does my focus on Starfleet protocol help at all by knowing where to look, what sorts of red tape to try and...
You know what? I'll say
bypass?
yes. You could apply it for doing that. It's only going to be difficulty 1, I'm going to say, for this one. So. Alright, so you'll take a look around, and it unfortunately doesn't look as though there is a lot of records currently. It seems like all the basic records are just, you find the normal patrols of the Romulans around the neutral zone. There doesn't look to be any different than the normal. That's what I will say. So it's not like you don't find any information. It's just that whether there would be an extra pattern, no. You don't see any.
Nothing unusual to report, sir.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do before our arrival.
I
Meowdy.
didn't have the other security person helping with this.
Yes.
Meowdy, you were working on the new... What were you exactly working on? Let me define it for me, and then I can give you a roll.
Upgrading the sensor suite to be able to detect any emissions left by Romulan ships while they're in cloak.
Okay, so you're going to be trying to see if you can max out the sensors effectively.
Indeed. Push more power to them.
I'm going to have you say, give me an insight engineering check for this one.
I'd be happy to.
I'm giving you... Okay. I was going to say, I have to remember to give you difficulty, so if you want to buy dice or not.
Fair.
We'll keep it with difficulty 2. So you got your 2 successes for this one. You matched it. You kind of find a way that you can actually enhance the sensors a little bit to be more sensitive to tachyons. And the leftover radiation that is caused by Romulan cloaking devices. It's probably not going to be perfect, as it normally isn't. But what you can...
But everything I do is perfect.
Uh-huh. But you should be able to... I so ignored that one. I totally ignored that one.
What's the Star Trek equivalent of psychic damage?
It's just psychic
stress
damage. It's just actual psychic
You,
damage.
you take one injury, you do not take any stress, you just go right to injury.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's an injury.
Injury. Meowdy's bad puns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My brain melted a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But
Allow me to help with that. I am very good with brain meltage.
effectively what it's going to do is that you're pretty sure you'll be able to detect at a pretty decent range whether there is a cloaked Romulan ship in the area. You might even be able to give a general area, but again, its space is large. So it's sort of like, it's better than nothing. And you think you might be able to fine-tune it more if there was a Romulan vessel nearby.
Get data from what it brings in and then fine-tune it from there.
Yes.
He's gonna tap his communicator, call up to Benedict. Benedict, there is some good news, in fact. We have been able to tune the sensor suite to... it won't give us much of a precise location, as it were, towards the position of Romulan ships, but we should be able to sort of divide into sectors the area, and if there is a Romulan ship within the rough area, we should be able to figure it out. I could even, perhaps, with... if we have a opportunity to test it, if there is a Romulan ship, with some more fine-tuning, we may be able to pinpoint it a little more precisely.
Well, that sounds like it will do for our purposes. Thank you for your quick work.
Happy to help.
Okay. So you'll arrive at Takara, a planet where the Takaran people live at. You'll kind of move into a orbit with your ship, and the captain will come down to the bridge and be like, hail the planet. I guess the communications will go up. I can't remember who does it. That might be you, Benedict, because isn't Worf at Ops usually?
I think it's usually the ops person who does
Worf,
it, yeah.
Worf's usually a tactical, but...
Data's usually at ops.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with doing the hailing. So,
Yeah.
is there a check I have to make for that?
There's not a check you have to make of it. You just hit some buttons, because there is no interference right now, so you don't have to worry about any checks. You hail down to Dr. Jabranin. Let me just put his name in chat here, just so people see it. Jabreen.
Jabron.
Yes. And I have no idea how Takarans look like. They might be actually in the book, or they might be one that was invented for this adventure I adapted. Oh, I know the Takaran people. They're, yeah. We've seen them.
Are they also cat people?
No, but if you look up Takarans, they've got like,
Put it in chat. Put the name in chat.
It is
Takaran, because I can't spell that.
Takaran. If you look it up, you can see what they look like.
These people.
Yeah. I've seen these people before in Star Trek, yes, so. Easy enough that way. Just remembering who is who. Anyway, hello. Yes,
They look
Chimera.
very punchable.
Welcome to Takara. Thank you for coming here to assist me in my experiments. We've always had great relationships with the Federation, and we are so glad that our developments here can assist you and your people. Indeed, Doctor. I'm going to send down a team to check up on your work and report back to me before we go into any experiments. I just want to make sure everything is safe. Of course. Since this is development for you, I would understand wanting to check over all of my work. I expect you down here as soon as possible. And he ends communications. The captain turns to the crew. He's like, Benedict, I want you, Meowdy, Bob, to go down there and grab someone for medical. Charlotte, why don't you go with them? Just because you can maybe get a step on the checking out the shuttlecraft that they're going to be detonating.
Of course.
Their targets, the targets they're going to be using. I want to make sure that there's nothing unusual about them. You know, if they're just a standard issue vessel, the better it is for the test.
I'd be more than happy to.
Right. And of course, for medical, they're not going to grab Dr. Roger. They're going to grab Steph.
Yeah.
So you are the away team down to the planet.
No, of course, we wouldn't want to bring, Dr. Roger away from his work. It's far too important for us to do.
Dude, I'm developing a new hypospray unit chemical. Man, it's great. It makes you feel really great, man.
I believe that's
Excellent.
called opium, sir.
Yeah, but it's not addictive.
Oh,
Truly a benefit that
Fine
will,
use of your time, Doctor.
this will aid the Federation in many years to come.
This is what I have to deal with every day.
Man, I'm so nervous about all
What
this.
do you mean deal with? He
I
seems
hate
like a
Romulans.
wonderfully-
Everyone's gonna
He
blow
seems
us
like a
up.
wonderfully intelligent individual.
Oh
Steph.
man.
Oh man. Oh jeez.
I'm sure with
Try
your
being with him all
enhanced,
day long.
I'm sure
Zoinks.
with your enhanced mental capabilities, you must have most stimulating conversations.
You'd think so.
Hey, you will beam down to the planet. There's again no check, and I'm not going to roll for your random crewmates because if this was an actual if this was a Star Trek campaign's adventure, I'd have NPC stats that I could roll for you to do stuff because NPCs exist to assist you.
We're beaming down.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, yeah, Charlotte looks horrified getting onto this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly,
I will pat you on the shoulder and be like, it's perfectly safe.
indeed.
She'll
My-
knock on her left leg.
Perfectly safe.
Shake her head no. As you push her onto the transporter.
Charlotte,
I
when,
will pick you up if I need to.
Charlotte, when you had that accident, you did not have me and my crew doing careful inspections of our equipment. This teleporter is entirely safe. Transporter is entirely safe.
If you say so, but if I lose another leg, you owe me one.
Before
Unfortunately,
you...
mine are both spoken for, but I will see what I can do.
We can replicate a new leg for you.
Okay. All right. So you'll beam down to the planet. Kind of go and meet with this. It's a scientific area on Takara here. It's obviously got various things researching into physics. You'll kind of move into be escorted to a laboratory where you'll meet Dr. Jabrennan in person. He's like, "Hello, crew of the Chimera. Welcome. Allow me to show you my work so we can get this quickly done with. As much as I like to delay and stuff and continue my work, I've been very excited for this test. It has been not a life's work, but a work that I've been working on for a few years developing this new torpedo. And I'll be so glad when the fruits of my labor come into place."
Absolutely, there is no worry, sir. We will do our best to make this as quick and efficient as possible.
Here is my experimental torpedo, at least a version of it as it is currently built. Best of specifications. There was something I wish to ask you, which perhaps you'll have to talk to your captain. It slipped my mind when we were originally on the view on communications there. But because of the nature of the explosion, I would like to get your ship as close as possible, but keeping it safe. Within the range of where your shields were. Perhaps you can provide some specifications about your ship that would assist on this.
I will have to get in touch with the captain, but no promises. But I will see what he has to say about it. If he,
Of course, I know
ascertains-
that there's certain things that Starfleet would rather not share, but just with the, I know not secrets, but securities of a ship, But I understand.
Even if we cannot do this for you, if he does acquiesce to bring the ship in closer, I'm sure Charlotte will be able to keep us perfectly safe.
Oh,
There
of
are no
course.
concerns. She is, well, somewhat hot-headed, a very capable pilot.
The plan is right now that after you've investigated the quantum torpedo here, as I've developed it, we'll take it to a site deeper in our star system, where the field test will take place. The derelict freighter is going to be the original target for it. I was told that you would want to look at the specifications of the freighter, as they'll give you a data pad to use, Charlotte, if you want to look at it.
Charlotte will look over the
Okay.
specifications.
You could make me... it's your choice on this one. I say this one is reason, either con or engineering. Con, if you want to just look at like the general like specifications on that end, and like more for like looking at the power systems might be more engineering in this case.
Probably just look at the general specifications. What challenge rating is normal?
We'll just say difficulty 0. It's just a simple task, no
Okay.
difficulty.
Flat.
Okay. You can get 2 momentum.
Boom, maxed out.
Yeah. Now, one of the things you could do right now with gaining this momentum is you could spend the momentum to ask more questions if you wanted to, while kind of looking it over. This is an opportunity to like kind of reflect upon what information is here and what you're looking into. The other option is I can just give you I will just give you some basics. It's derelict. It looks as though they've removed the main power systems, so there shouldn't be anything that would enhance the explosion related to that. The ship itself, probably when it was in its prime, was maybe only capable of like warp 2, warp 3 at most. So it was a clunker kind of thing. Very, very slow moving ship.
So brief discussion on momentum. It is party wide, so anyone can spend it.
Yeah, you just have to let people know when you would want to spend it. The main things are, of course, bonus dice rolls, but there are other things to spend momentum on. Like in this case, if you succeed and earn momentum, you can spend some of it to ask more questions.
I'm not even sure what questions Charlotte would ask relating to this, because it just looks like a junker, old.
I mean,
Piece of
not
garbage.
having any additional questions is also perfectly fine.
Yep. So.
And
Those
you
are
can
questions.
discuss this. You are allowed in
Yeah.
this game. It is suggested to discuss it between your players as much as possible, and kind of figure out things as a group.
Is it a basic freighter? I'm thinking of like little one that's just a bunch of boxes all over it.
It's pretty basic. It's probably just like a longer ship with a number of cargo bays.
Okay.
Just meant to transport things. Probably not too many star systems away. So
I don't know
one
if we really need any extra questions. I can't think of any.
all right.
Yeah, I don't think I can think of any myself.
Charlotte, how does the datapad look? Does everything seem to be in order?
And, it seems fine. Decommissioned, wasn't very fast, bit of a clunker. Honestly, a bit of a hunk of junk, but everything seems in order.
Wonderful. Bob, well, Doctor, would you mind if we were to take a look at the torpedo momentarily?
Of course. Take a look at it.
That is indeed what I was curious about.
All right.
Bob, perhaps you would not mind assisting me with this?
Of course.
He can also say, I can also show you a simulated test that I have developed in the computer, just to give you an understanding of how it's going to work.
Benedict and Charlotte, that's maybe a good thing for the pair of you to look at.
Yes.
Charlotte, you may get a better understanding of if the captain acquiesces again of where our ship could be. And
course.
Benedict, it could prove valuable to you as well.
I'm gonna ask you, anybody
Yes.
that's watching it, do any of you have a specialty in quantum physics?
No.
Then, if you want to roll, it is a reason science or reason engineering difficulty 4 task to understand what the hell is going on with this.
I'm good.
Nope.
Charlotte's
I pull a
not gonna attempt it. She's just gonna look at the screen and be like, "Yes, and think I understand this. Yeah, sure."
Basically, he's
explode.
going to show it off, and he'll be explaining things.
Would a specialty in warp engines help at all?
In this case, probably, unfortunately, not. This is like specifically like it's a quantum torpedo, so it's using quantum energy to cause its detonation, and he'll go through a little bit of explainer about it. Which, I mean, I'm gonna, without rolling, effectively say like you in science and you in engineering, you pick up some of it without the roll, but it's sort of like there's a lot to it. That's the nature of it that you didn't go into that field of study to understand it, unfortunately.
Would there be any difference to Bob or I making the roll?
Not really, because it's both recent science, recent engineering.
Okay.
if one of you wants to roll and the other assisted, if you're like discussing it, you could do that. That would give you 3 dice, and you could
buy
spend
an
and you could
extra
buy
dice.
some with momentum.
Yeah, you could buy an extra dice with momentum.
So I have constantly watching.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to use that to detect any danger to the ship from what's happening?
That would probably be a different role, but you could. Constant watching as a focus or trade. I can't remember which it is.
I think it's a talent.
Yeah,
Does
talent.
it's a
When you attempt a task to detect danger or hidden enemies, reduce the difficulty by 1.
Okay. That might come in handy because of, cloaking devices. You know, that might be very helpful, actually, at some point in time here.
That'll
Damn,
probably
Romulan.
help you out when we're
I'm
on
more
the ship.
trying to pick out if there's any danger to the ship because he wants us to be close to the
Okay,
ocean.
roll me a reason science then. Just roll me a reason science right now. You don't have to use. You're not going to be applying your talent. I'm going to say difficulty, just difficulty 2. So it's like a very standard difficulty. You do have the option if you want a little bit more secured, if you do feel a little less about getting that 2, you can spend a momentum. 1 momentum will buy you 1 dice. The difficulty doesn't show up on the dice roller.
Yeah. Complication
Right.
range is something else. Difficulty is just targeting them.
I'll tell you if there's a complication range. There hasn't been one yet. You're just,
Okay.
since you only have up to normally 5 dice, we can count them. When you roll it.
Well, I've got a hit under a 10, so
You could buy a dice, 1 dice for 1 momentum. You're at 6 momentum, which is your maximum, and you can't earn any right
Yeah.
now.
I'd say go for it. Why not?
Yeah, buy 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would cost you 3 though.
That'd be
Yeah.
3. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. So maybe by 1.
I
let's
will
click
just
on-
buy 1.
Yeah. Click on 3.
Okay.
And you can change your
Click on
roll to
3.
3. Yeah.
Roll.
Okay.
Hey!
So you don't earn your
3.
momentum back, but you successfully roll. From what you can tell, yes, there would definitely be a range at which this weapon would be very dangerous at. This is certainly observing it. It is much higher wield than your average photon torpedo, at least double the damaging power. You think you're not exactly sure how much, and some questions of control and stuff like that do come up. Things like. The doctor will mention that, like, the power source of the torpedo is a micro singularity. So the detonation of the torpedo implodes the singularity, causing damage to the physical structure and subspace in the vicinity of the explosion, essentially creating a rupture in subspace that prevents a stable warp field.
You probably don't want to be right next to that.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Very impressive.
Can Bob and I take a look at that torpedo then?
Yeah, you can take a look at it. I'd say in this case, it is going to be, because it's a photon torpedo, I'd say you could do a reason.
Specifically, I'd like to make 2 checks over it.
Okay.
1 with the engineering tricorder,
Mhm.
and then, if you guys are okay with it, 1 through my ocular lens, basically. And I'd like to buy momentum on that check.
For the tricorder, just make me a reason engineering check. I'll say just let's just keep it difficulty
assist?
1. You could assist. You could get out your tricorder. It would be difficulty 2 for you for the same check because it's not a specialized tricorder, but you could do the same. You can both take
Okay,
readings
so
and compare them.
I was going to ask if you already took into account the engineering tricorders.
Yeah, I've said yours is difficulty 1 in this case because you're studying the.
Could I do reason science to help him interpret the stuff behind what the tricorder readings say?
If you wanted to make a check after he took his readings, then yes, that way. I'd say in this case, one person assists, so whoever wants to assist can assist. I'll give you the choice. One can really grab the extra dice. And for the assistance, the assisting person will roll 1 dice. But the assisting person can also buy dice with same rules on momentum.
Okay. Well, the tricorder one, I'm not going to buy a dice on. This one's a separate one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just assist with the tricorder normally.
Okay.
So reason engineering then?
Yeah. Woo. Okay. So you'll kind of take a look at it, scan over things, take some measurements, get a general idea of how the thing works. There's parts of it you do not understand that he sort of explained, but again, like the exact methodology to everything is a little bit outside your normal wheelhouse.
For sure. And then, I'd like to look it over with the ocular lens as well.
Give me a... What does your ocular lens exactly do?
When the character is using the obtain information momentum spend, they may ask questions or be given information not normally available with organic senses.
Okay.
Just see if there's, like, anything... I mean, it pays to be safe. See if there's anything wrong with it, or if the lens might be able to detect... or if I'd be able to figure out with the lens maybe a way we could tune our shields better so that we could be closer and still not...
In this case, because you're still giving it a physical look over, I'm going to say it's going to be a insight security check difficulty 1. And then you can ask the questions that are not related if you get any extra successes.
Okay. And everyone okay with me using a momentum?
Go for it.
Sure.
Okay, down to 4. So that means I roll 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoop. And
Okay.
I get 1 back.
Now, if you want to, you can either bank that or you can spend it on the question.
Ah, I see.
Mm-hmm. Your general investigation, it looks fair. It has a very similar form to a standard photon torpedo. There's definitely some differences between it. The internal housing and stuff and structure. You certainly have a general knowledge of how like a lot of technical things work, including a photon torpedo, through your engineering. And knowing some basics of like how things in the security work. You kind of look it over. You're like, okay, there's these systems here. Everything seems to be in order. There is, of course, this kind of areas which you're assuming are the power systems in it, which are a little confusing to you. Just because you don't have that necessarily knowledge to understand what that is. What question would you ask, though?
Professor...
Well, this is less asking the professor.
Okay,
This is
It's asking the GM.
it's
In that
asking
case-
me.
I'd like to ask if there's a way I could perhaps tune our shields so that again, assuming the captain agrees, tune our shields in a way that we could be closer, as the professor wants, but mitigate some of the danger of us being closer.
You should be able to. Because of the nature of the quantum explosion, and because you have found some information about it, you think you should be able to tune your shields a little bit more. The exact distance, again, you've only seen a simulation of this explosion. That's the best I can say. Like, you could consult with the doctor for the exact distances he thinks, but he was taking your ship into account and checking its schematics. Remember to do so.
Benedict, Steph, some good news. I believe from an initial inspection of the torpedo, we should be able to modulate our shields at a slightly different frequency, absorb some of the energy more efficiently, divert some of the potential danger, less potential for people being injured, and happily for me, less chance of the ship being injured.
Hey, Tantus.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that the micro singularity would influence the warp drive somehow?
It would cause
It damages subspace, which interferes with warp travel.
Yeah, warp.
Yeah.
The exact extent of how that works, you could try for the check that I talked about. That's the thing is, you got some information now. So if one of you wanted to try for the difficulty 4 check, buy some dice, and have maybe someone assist, you could try.
I'm curious whether my focus on warp engines would help here.
I mean,
I'd
not
say.
really, 'cause-
You know what? I'll give it to you if you want to roll it now because you've gained some more information about it. So it'd still be difficulty 4, but you'd be able to use your focus. You could buy dice and you could get someone to assist you. It would be
What would the
reason
roll be?
science. You could still, like, if Meowdy wanted to assist, it would be reason engineering. You could still roll.
Yeah, I'll assist with that.
Okay.
Okay.
So you would roll 1 die. Again, Meowdy could also purchase a die. You could purchase a die separately. You could purchase all the dice. There's things like that, you can choose. Right now, you have 3 dice, and you need 4.
We could
Okay.
each buy 1. That's 2 momentum.
I will tell you what... Okay, for those of you out there who don't know what focus does, focus effectively increases the range at which you get a critical. We haven't seen it much in chat here, but if you roll a 20 in Star Trek, it is basically a critical failure. A 1 is a critical success. If you have a focus, it increases that critical success range to your discipline. So in this case, Bob, you have a discipline of science of what?
3.
3. So that means from 1 to 3, you would effectively critical and get 2 successes.
Oh, neat.
Yes.
So I do have an ability I can use that might be useful here. So I have the human talent, Spirit of Discovery, which lets me use my determination, which it said we started with a determination. Is that
You
accurate?
do start with a determination.
I can activate that to give 3 momentum points to our pool.
Okay. What happens is when one of your values would come into play during a situation, you could spend that determination, and that talent
Gotcha,
gives
okay.
you an extra different use of that determination. Effectively, you get an option to spend your determination, and normally it's got like the standard that everybody does. You have an extra option.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
okay,
so
so
I wouldn't be able to
usually-
use that in this case then.
No,
Okay, cool.
but right now we have you have a momentum of what, 4?
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spend some
Long
momentum.
shot. Would a focus in electroplasma power systems help in my role anyway?
I'm gonna say no on this one.
Fair
though.
enough. Okay. I'm just gonna roll my 1 dice then.
Right. I think. Shall I?
Oh wait, no,
take a-
wait. I forgot. Were we both buying momentum?
I was
That's fine.
just about to ask that. I think I would like to buy 1.
I'd say go for it.
Yeah.
Do we want to buy another and be safe?
Yeah, well, if you each buy 1, that's only 2 momentum, right? Because they're separately buying it, so it wouldn't be
Yes.
the extra.
Yeah.
So we
So
go down to 2.
Umber would roll like 1 more.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna roll 1 more. Yeah.
Hey, there's 2 successes out of the 4 we need.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
and
have
then
what?
3.
And I rolled 3, right?
You would roll
Yeah.
3 dice.
Come on, 2 successes. 2. Yeah, let's go!
Wow. Okay.
I saw the zeros and my heart stopped for a second.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's an 18. Holy
Okay.
crap.
I'm going to do something,
2.
though. I'm going to spend 2 threat to create a complication to the situation.
Have you
Warning,
considered not doing that?
Have I
No.
considered I'm allowed to do that, and that is something that I spend my threat on? You're welcome.
He has altered the deal. Pray does not alter it further.
That's
How much blood are you spending?
only 2
Oh, only 2. Okay.
out of my
Okay.
10 that I start with.
Don't worry. When I have to start flying, he's gonna get those 2 back.
No, don't worry. Yeah, me
so
too, when we're in a fight.
in this case, I am making the results of this more dangerous to the area. So yes, it creates a subspace rupture and making it very dangerous to make a stable warp field in the area of it. You postulate that it would take some time for subspace to heal, so though the weapon is very powerful, it could cause damage to an area. Granted, space is large, so the possibility of running into this area low, And impulse engines do exist to avoid it, but it would disrupt warp fields, especially if you used a lot of these in an area. It could create an area of effectively dead space, and you're pretty sure that it would be the area that would be affected by the warp field destabilization is maybe like 10,000 kilometers. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's still pretty sizable for space. Especially like
you don't want dead space because that game's scary.
Especially if it would be used in an area like if you're out in like nowhere, not too much of a difficulty. If you're in a populated star system where a lot of traffic occurs, it could cause issues. So if you choose to be close to it, you're going to have to be within the range of the disruption, meaning you will not be able to use your warp field while observing it, or the warp engines. You will only be on impulse. That is the complication I've created for you.
Oh boy.
And that's
And
if
I'm sorry.
is that if we're as close as the doctor wanted us to be?
The doctor wants you to be within range to observe it completely, and he will tell you there is some radiation associated with it, but the radiation that is associated with it would be blocked by your shields. It's not anything major. The destruction is directly centered on the ship and would probably destroy the ship. He wants you to be, he estimates that he would like you to be between 3,000 and 5,000 kilometers away. That's the kind of safe distance, he says. You could probably be closer, but he wants to keep it at a certain distance because he is... For your information that you provided, he will say, I'm unsure the exact size of the field that the singularity will create. That's why I don't want to get too close, because it's something that we don't know the full results of it, unfortunately. The simulations only give us so much information. The current subspace field we use it on will determine... The conditions of subspace in the area we use it on will determine the test. That's why we're using it in an area of our solar system where we do not see traffic, where it's an outer edge of the solar system, where we won't have to worry about having a damaged field at all.
Hey, Tantus, can I be evil Borg for a second?
Sure.
I want to do a medical scan of this doctor and see, I don't know, is he a Romulan in disguise?
Reason medicine.
Reason medicine. Would my focus in genetics help?
Scanning him?
If you want to stealthily scan him, I'll allow you to do it at a higher difficulty. It would be normally reason medicine difficulty 1, but if you want to do it without him noticing, I'm going to say it's difficulty... No, we can say it's difficulty 1, but I'm going to increase the complication range to 3. I think that's what I'll do.
Wow!
I also have a question. I don't know how this would necessarily work in Star Trek. Can I roll something to see if he's lying or appears to be holding back some information?
You can! It would be Insight Command.
Okay. Oh, my sheet got all messed up when I clicked.
Oh.
Difficulty.
In this case, Since he doesn't seem to be, lying or something, I'd say if you want to get a very good deep read on him, difficulty 3. I'm going to say it's very difficult to get a good deep read on him. To pick up if there's anything really emotionally unstable, because he looks like, regardless if he's lying or not, he's got a pretty solid, or holding anything back, he's got a very solid facade in front of him.
Okay.
You said Insight Command, right?
Insight Command.
Command.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else want to assist on this? If not,
Do I get any benefit from the constantly watching?
Sure. If you'd have to be the one that would be rolling it mainly for constantly watching, though, because I think it decreases the difficulty, right?
Yes.
yeah.
So if you wanted to roll it with the 2 dice and then have Charlotte assist you, that you could do it that way, and then you'd have only difficulty 2.
Well, what are you guys' insight command scores?
Bad.
I'm
insight-
8-3.
9 and 2, so 11.
11 and 4 for me.
Mine's 11-3.
So we have a 15 and a 14.
Yeah.
So probably Mowdy and Charlotte would be the best. But
Yeah.
again, the decreasing difficulty is not a bad thing either. Gotta be honest about that one. You have a less chance of being successful, but you have one less success to get. It's up to you which direction you want to take. You could go for the people that do it best. You could do it for less difficulty.
Hmm.
I'd say go for it.
Okay.
All right. You roll, I'll assist.
All right. Let me just make sure I got everything timed correctly.
What is your current momentum, and do you want to spend any?
How much?
Currently
was it?
2.
We have 2.
I don't.
I don't really want to spend any on this.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, all the pressure. Come on, don't roll a 0.
Oh, Meowdy.
Yeah! The cats are unstoppable today!
Beautiful.
Listening to him talk, it seems as though like he is actually incredibly especially when he's talking about the safety of your ship. You can detect that he's actually quite worried about that.
Okay.
He's definitely playing down probably the danger he thinks there is.
All right.
It doesn't seem that he's pushing it, but basically he's it's sort of like it should be safe at this range. I hope.
Maybe.
I hope my calculations are correct.
Okay.
I'd like to clarify out of game.
Mhm.
You said that it would disrupt warp fields or disrupt subspace in a 10,000 kilometer
Radius.
radius.
Because it's space, it goes all directions. So explosion, all directions.
20,000 kilometer sphere.
He wants us to be within 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers.
He wants you to be within the field it's disrupting. The actual explosion is a lot smaller, but it creates this disruptive field around the Terran subspace.
Yeah. So the danger range for physical damage is much smaller. Just that we would not be able to go to warp until we impulsed out of the 20-kilometer sphere.
Yeah.
How long would it take to impulse that far?
Not far, not that long overall. I think depending on the impulse speed you use. I'd have to check Star Trek.
I don't even know the impulse speed stuff.
Impulse speed. I can
don't know if
Google
I-
that. Impulse engines. Okay.
Yeah, I'm mostly just looking for ranges like seconds, minutes, hours, days, etc.
Not
Probably.
hours.
It'd be
possibly
minutes.
minutes.
Probably minutes, depending on how quickly you got.
Because we'd be traveling. He's at a range of 3 to 5 away from the explosion, so we'd be traveling 5 to 7,000 kilometers on impulse.
Yeah. Impulse speeds. There's what I'm looking at. Not impulse engine. Impulse speeds. So it's sublight speeds of impulse.
Yeah. It's pretty fast, but
Yeah.
It's
sounds
pretty
like
fast,
it'll
but
still be pretty fast. but-
and again, you might not want to do full impulse anyway. You might kind of want to slow out of the area for safety space, but yeah, I am.
impulse is faster than you thought it was.
It might be.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
seeing
a lot faster than it
averages of
sounds.
I'm seeing averages of upwards of 10,000 kilometers per second.
Space is also larger than I thought too. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
So actually, let's increase it from 10,000 to 100,000, or let's say 500,000 kilometers.
Big boom.
It's a big.
Is this
boom.
like a permanent?
No.
No,
It will heal over time.
It'll heal over time. To give you an example, it's about 400 million miles from Earth to Jupiter. That's pretty far. So like 500,000 miles is still pretty big. It would take you approximately like a quarter impulse is about 12 million miles per hour. So, about 19,000 kilometers a second is quarter impulse, according to Voyager, I guess. So... so full impulse is about 74,000 kilometers per second. So if you went full impulse, you get out of the field pretty quickly. Granted.
We also have to build up speed too. I imagine.
Yeah. The thing is, traditionally, if you're in an area of unusual fields, you think about it in ranges, dude, not actual numbers. So it would take you
What did you say the radius was?
I changed it now to 500,000 kilometers, and you're probably going to be within you're going to be at the halfway point of that. We'll say,
It's fine.
I'm gonna just pull out a calculator real quick.
Please, it's math. It's math. There's a bunch of it.
I know you're an engineer, but stop being such a nerd.
So that's kind of what you pick up. Someone's gonna do the medical scan. Yes.
Not when you told me the complication range.
Okay. It's less that you can do it. I'm just gonna say it's just that. Okay. So now it's all a matter of transporting the torpedo to the ship. If someone wants to...
I'll get in contact with the captain first. Captain, the professor asked if we would be able to share any specifications regarding our ship with him to more carefully ensure our safety.
Do you think that would be wise?
Personally, no. But admittedly, I am on the engineering track and not the command track. I know that some information is not to be shared for security purposes, but I do not know the full breadth of it.
In this case, do you think it's information that's necessarily needed for the safety of the ship with the detonation of the weapon? If the information doesn't need to be shared, I would rather not. But I will use you, who have been communicating with the doctor, to judge this appropriately.
Of course. One moment, Captain. He's going to address the rest of you. The captain is asking whether we believe it would be wise to share the technical specifications of our ship with the professor here.
I'm assuming you're stepping away from the professor to talk about this or something?
No, we're doing this right in front of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
This will be away from the
Trust
professor.
this guy a goddamn second. He's a fucking
Don't worry, I'll just disable him with my hands.
disable him. Jesus. Hold on, I'll make sure he doesn't listen. Just knocks him out.
I will just assimilate him. I am a
Admittedly-
human.
Admittedly, I am not...
worry, and the fact that we will be unable to use warp for some time seems sufficient risk to not additionally endanger ourselves.
I will say, looking over him while he was speaking, he did seem nervous about the whole test as well and the safety of our ship.
genuinely concerned about our well-being then.
I believe so.
Bob, I understand what you are saying, but I do not think the actual danger lies in the torpedo itself. Potentially, however, with this subspace tear, as it were, if there were Romulans in the area, we would be unable to jump to warp were they to show up. We would be left at sublight speeds until we had left the sphere and would be forced to fight off the ship.
Or ships. Yes, that is my
Or
concern.
ships.
A question first to Tantus. This guy, is he like a Starfleet scientist or independent Starfleet scientist?
He is not. You have to remember there are two groups that work here. There's the Federation and the Starfleet. Federation is the group of planets that have formed like a government together. Each planet still has its own government, but forms under like Federation law, kind of like state governments versus the federal government in the U.S. You know, or I guess in other places like in Canada, province versus national government. You know, they call it national or federal.
He's a Takaran scientist then?
He's the Takaran scientist. So he works here. Takara is a part of the Federation, and he's a scientist that works here directly on the planet. So they've been developing something for Starfleet. Starfleet is like the exploration, security, and if need be, military branch of Federation. It's kind of like it works under the Federation, you know.
So he at least works with. I would say he's a Federation scientist. I don't see how he wouldn't be able to get specifications for our ship directly from one of many databases.
You could get the basics, but there are certain things that if you give the full specifications, things like your shield frequency, those are
super classified.
Those are super classified. If you open up the full specifications, he's probably going for like the full thing. Shield frequency is super classified because you can modulate weapons to ignore shields then.
Yeah.
There are other things that, like, if you have some of the specifications, it does make it easier to do, like access your computers externally and things like that. That's why the specifications tend to be very closely hidden to a ship. Granted, things like the shield frequencies do get modulated occasionally, so it's not like something that would be dangerous overall. It'll probably be changed at some point in time in the near future, like the exact frequency. So then you
still that'd be real bad. So I am definitely
I'm gonna say, like, right now, if there would be a Romulan leak in his lab that isn't him, then they might be able to gain access to it if you give that information. That's something that you, as the security chief, I'm just gonna say you can know. You know, because Romulans are known for spies and stuff.
Yeah, I'm in that case. My character's like super paranoid about the Romulans, so I would be very bad. And I would change my answer instead to, I believe that I believe we shouldn't give this guy really anything we don't absolutely have to. I understand that he may be concerned for our safety, but he may also be fishing for information.
I will admit, the prospect of already not having the ability to go to warp makes me nervous enough. Having a potential third party knowing everything about the ship I take care of and fly makes me much more nervous.
So is it guaranteed that if we see Romulans, they're going to straight up attack us? Are we like actively at war with them, or is there like...
No, you're at peace with them currently. The thing is, this is post-Dominion War, and the Dominion War was a large war that went across the area, where it ended up being the, we do have Catians. We do have Catians. It ended up being the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulans united together to defeat the Dominion. So there was... But the thing is... It's still the Romulans, you know, everybody took a lot of losses. The Romulans took a lot of losses, so they're probably not anywhere near in a position to, like, want to take advantage of it. There's still a lot of that old tensions between the Federation and the Romulans, and so it's like, it's probably the most peace there has been, but sort of like...
also dropped the bomb in the neutral zone, so that's probably not great.
And the fact is, like, you have to think about it, is like... Let's say it would have been like the Cold War between the Soviets and the Americas during the 50s, and all of a sudden another Third Reich comes in during that time, something akin to it. So not during the early World War II where we were allies, post where we were already enemies, you know, another group comes in. Would we be at peace? Not really. We might be at a better peace than we were, but it's still not great.
We might not necessarily just start firing on each other, but there could be danger in it. All right,
so
potential threat.
There's still a potential threat.
My recommendation would be we don't give this guy anything we don't absolutely have to.
Okay.
Perhaps we can put this to a simple vote. At least from engineering's perspective, and specifically my perspective. This is my ship, and I know my ship. It is our body. We take care of it. Personally, as much as I am more than happy and willing to work with anybody that can assist the Federation, I do not relish the idea of other people knowing the technical specifications of my ship.
The captain will chime in now, as he's been listening the entire time. It sounds as though it is more recommended by the situation that we avoided. I will taken this into account, and I believe the best bet in this case would be to probably err on the side of caution and not give any specifications. We'll go to the farthest range of his idea. If we are not close enough for his comfort, or if we're not so close for the blast itself that he would like us to be at, that's too bad. We're going to be as close as we need to be for the safety of our ship, and we'll take what readings we need to. And if in a future experiment it would be more prudent for us to be to be closer, then we'll do it then. So tell the good doctor we will not be giving him the information, at least for now.
The potential loss of readings is less harmful than the potential loss of our ship.
So yes. So you have to transport the prototype aboard the ship. You can either have a NPC do it, or one of you can try to use a control engineering task to try to transport it aboard after you transport aboard. It is very easy for you to transport aboard. You're just transporting to the teleportation pad. Getting the prototype aboard stowed away safely would be a difficulty 1 check.
Oh, okay.
It's still going. It's still. Well, okay. Let me put it this way: teleporting to or from a teleportation pad is usually a difficulty 0 check. Not bothering with it right now for like NPCs and stuff. Any other situation is difficulty 1.
I have a 13 on this.
What was it?
Control engineering.
I have an 11, so it would be not wise for me to do so.
Control engineering, I have a 10.
Sounds most likely that the engineer is the best one to do an engineering check. Oh,
sounds about right.
Steph could do it too. But Steph's a doctor. Steph has to do medicine.
Oh, no, Bob.
Well,
Bob is a 14.
Damn it, Meowdy, I'm a doctor, not an engineer.
Bob probably has really great control, I'm going to assume.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to, one of you could roll it then. Either Bob or Steph or Meowdy. It sounds like all of you are pretty good for it. It's just It's just seeing if you could successfully transport it on board without any kind of failure or complications. Well,
Somebody assisting?
Perhaps? You know what? I'm going to roll something here. These are not going to be the correct numbers, but this is going to be the ship's assistance. I'm going to put in some numbers.
Torpedo goes off. It falls on the ground.
We all die.
It just failed. It didn't. There was no complication.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's perfect.
We all transport back to the ship, but the torpedo's still in the station. Bob, did you not have the torpedo?
I thought
I
you
thought you said to get all of us.
I think we may need to try this again then.
Let me check something here, because the ship would have... I have to see... I have to figure out how to switch it to a ship. Frickin'...
Would you create
sheet.
it as a ship?
It doesn't let me create it as a ship, though. There's something that Josh knows how to do, and I'm just gonna roll like...
Josh is technically in chat.
I'm just gonna roll 2 dice together and pretend they're correct. 10 and 3. We'll just roll those. 1 die. No focus. Task roll. Wow!
My god.
Did that... Well, it's a 15, so...
Yep, still not a complication.
Mm-hmm.
So we left the torpedo on the station.
It's bound on the planet still.
Right. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna... No, you know what? I'm sick of that shit now. I got some other stuff to do. Okay.
Should we try this again then?
Right. You can try it. I'm not getting back on that thing.
But Charlotte, you see, you went down, you came back, you're perfectly safe. I told you. These transporters are maintained by me and my crew.
She will jokingly say, yes, but I don't want to end up with a torpedo for a leg.
Perhaps
would
I
be a...
and provide up-to-date readings on the torpedo while our engineer locks and loads, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I can do this. But Sean, let's just think of it. Having a torpedo for a leg would be a rather explosive entrance into any room.
Anyway, the ship will assist again, which with some dice that I think are probably correct. I don't know, probably. This seems about right.
Am
I
I
was
rolling
thinking
this
that-
one? Or...
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, the ship's
Carpe,
technically...
what were you thinking?
I was thinking that Umber would be the main person, and
Yeah.
I would assist.
You could probably assist too. I mean, Umber, roll it. Just roll it.
Do it.
All right, you're good. You get it up there finally.
Second time. This time.
It seems as though there was like a little bit of complications in getting a lock on. Meowdy moves in there. I'm gonna say probably the second time it was difficulty 2, so it just makes it like it was a little more difficult to teleport the second time. But you managed it because you got 3. You know, you're just like, cool, okay. It just seems like probably something to do with the micro singularity made it difficult to detect. Anyway, before we head on, I want to take a break. Snack, drink,
Eat some snakes.
eat some snakes, drink some bathrooms.
Don't drink the bathroom. Oh God, no, that's for dogs. Excuse you.
I didn't say from the toilet. Drink the
We are
bathroom.
far too dignified for this. We do not
You
drink
pick up
the
the
toilets.
entire.
That's the dogs.
No, I didn't say anything about the toilet. I said the entire bathroom you're drinking. So you like just fill the entire thing with one.
Drink the whole sonic shower.
Anyway, drink, snack, bathroom break. Go ahead, do it. Be back in a couple of minutes. You know, to continue the insanity here. Great. All right.
Blep blep.
Blah.
Button here, and this button here, and this button here, and welcome back. All right. We're continuing in the next part. So, the torpedo is aboard your ship. Now that it's aboard, you will be instructed by the doctor to the region of... my brain just broke on the name of his people. To Karin space, to where... approximately like where the derelict ship has been set up. Okay. So
Could we use shipboard scanners to get a more detailed reading of the torpedo?
sure. That would be reasons, science, and I'll roll for your ship. I'm just gonna keep your ship very averages and give it I don't know, it'd be great average.
Our ship class, the Nebula, is usually a science ship. Just that.
So in this case, I'll give you 3. I think like security, command, and con will probably be 2s. Effectively, this one would be like 3s, and I might give your ship all like general like reason-based things is probably decent. So yeah, I will roll for it. This is going to be just an add to your. The ship will add. Oh, sorry. There we go. Ship's going to add 1 to whatever you check. It's going to be just a difficulty 1 to scan the ship. You're already getting a bonus 1 from your ship, but you can see if you can get more and earn some momentum. Okay, so you'll earn 2 momentum.
Woo!
Again,
Hey.
you can spend that momentum and ask more questions. That
Yeah,
is
we
always
might
an
want to
option.
do that depending on what the details.
Again, yeah, ship doesn't have any current engines. It has engines are there, but like
Wait,
I'm asking if we can use the ship to scan the torpedo.
sure. You can get a
our
scan of the
ship?
torpedo. Yeah, you can. You can use the sensors on it. Scan the torpedo. Okay.
If we're gonna do that, you very much want me to roll it with the ship. 'Cause
Well-
this is what I'm designed for.
Well, Bob already rolled for this
Bob got
one.
2 successes.
Never mind.
You earned 2 momentum.
Bob did good. You should be proud of Bob.
Yeah.
so the torpedo itself, do we learn anything different?
I'm going to say you do learn the very basics that you had before. You have an opportunity to ask more questions if you want to learn more about it. Because I think the fact is, like, I don't know if there's much more to inform you with a much more, detailed scan of it. I think I can think that there are some questions you can ask, but that is up to you if you think of those questions to ask them. They are ones that I think you might think about, but if you don't, it's not going to hurt you. I'm going to put that there.
I mean, my brain goes to yield.
Yeah,
I know you said it was double, but like it's also quantum, so that's weird. Because I imagine we know whatever X safety distance is for a regular torpedo. I don't know what it is.
Yes. I'm not going to bother looking it up. There's a certain distance photonic explosions go at. This is a much larger explosion for the actual damage.
Close range, which is a number that the book probably tells you, but it's not necessary.
Again, like, ship-to-ship combat in the actual shows is probably at ranges of distance that you don't think about, you know? Because, again, like, the fucking Enterprise is goddamn huge.
Yeah,
it's like...
gigantic.
Isn't it, like a kilometer long or something?
Something
You know?
like that.
I don't know if it's quite that big.
Ships are quite large.
Oh, it's like at least
It's
half...
definitely big.
It's at least half a kilometer long. Which, if you
Okay.
consider the distance of that, like, in actual space, you're like, oh, wow, that's
Small
massive.
city.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
remember.
massive.
Remember, ships are big, but also space is very big.
Yeah. So, probably photon torpedo explosions, pretty damn big. Pretty damn big. Probably measured in kilometers. Probably not, like, thousands of kilometers, or even maybe hundreds of kilometers, I'm going to say. But still, relatively large. Because, again, like, a photonic torpedo explosion doesn't usually engulf an entire ship.
No.
You know? It's a big boom. It definitely, though.
It's not the biggest boom.
This is a bigger boom, though. Well, also,
With-
there's... Yeah, go ahead.
With
At least
the
double.
ship's readings,
Mhm.
would Meowdy be able to use that to calibrate sensors and maybe even rig up something that we could put in the range that the doctor wants?
It looked like a
While
probe.
we stay further away?
Sure. I guess you can... We'll let you... I'll say with your basic check that you got, without asking extra questions, if that's the kind of thing you want to do with this information, you can do that. That's easy. That can be the thing for your check, is to figure out a range for it, since that's kind of what you were looking for anyway. But if you wanted to, if there's any other questions you wanted to ask related to its construction, its energy signatures, anything like that, you could do that.
So how much momentum did we just get and spend?
You
We are
currently...
at 4 and we haven't spent any.
And you're
Okay,
about to
I
get...
wasn't sure if we got the full 2 or not.
You
Yeah.
currently are getting the 2, but again, you could spend one, and every one you can ask another question, and get an answer from me, the DM, related to it. If you don't have any questions right now, that's fine. We can leave it go.
I guess not.
Okay.
Suppose not.
I want to ask more questions about the communications implications of the subspace distortion, but I don't know what to ask. Because by my understanding, essentially, if you're within the however big radius of the subspace distortion field, no warp, no communications outside of the field.
I think
Through-
the nature of the field probably won't completely disrupt subspace communications because of the nature of, like, a warp field has to be stable. That's the thing, is it prevents the creation of a stable warp field. It doesn't mean you can't create a warp field. It just means it's unstable enough that you can't go to warp speeds. The subspace communications, there would be heavy interference, basically, for it. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but it means that you might need a very powerful communication system to break through it. Or you would need to, like, do a lot of adjustments that would be time-consuming in order to compensate for it. And the thing is, you'd have to set it for that then, you know? So it's like, I don't think it would permanently destroy communications, but it would disrupt communications, is more accurate. And you know that the subspace damage should repair itself. It just takes time for subspace to heal. Like the natural energies to realign. Stuff like that.
Okay, could the ship tell us how long that might take?
To repair subspace communications?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you don't know.
Well,
because
yeah, that's why we're here. We're here to test this thing and find out what it does.
Uh-huh.
We don't really know.
you do not know the true extent of the damage it's going to do. You know it's going to do damage according to the computers, but again, the computer models do not take into account the subspace in the area you're in. That might have it's sort of like the difference between doing an experiment in a sterile lab and doing an experiment out in the wild where there are things that are like more variables that come into play.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If possible, I would also like to give a brief scan of the target as well, just to make sure that the data pad information was indeed the correct information.
Sure. Your momentum's full momentum now, so I'm not gonna have you roll. You can just do it. It matches. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It would be difficulty 0 check to kind of check and compare them. So I'm not gonna bother because you already have full momentum.
No, the
No,
last
we're
check
at
would have
4.
given us the 2, which made it 4.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't have full momentum.
Okay. So if you want to make a check to see if you build momentum, you can.
What kind of check?
Just I guess in this case, because you were using the con before to compare it, I guess reason con to compare it again.
Reason.
I will use your ship's sensors as I've always have, the same numbers that I have. I'll just put that, there's a 9 and a 2 here. We'll just say your ship will assist on this because you're using the ship's sensors. The ship's sensors do not help on this case. But you'll get your 2 momentum going up to 6. Yep, it matches the specifications.
Okay. All right.
There is something I want one of
Any
you...
unexpected signatures on board?
No, there is not. But there is something that I do want one of you to check on just because it's information that you as players might not know, but characters might know. So, I want Benedict. Benedict, please roll me a reason security. This would be... I'm just going to say difficulty 2 in this case. This is difficulty 2. It's not that it's not common knowledge, you just might not think of it. That's why I'm making it 2.
Okay,
And this is something that might actually be...
I'm looking at my focuses, seeing if anything.
Buy a dice.
What are your focuses?
I got the ones that might come into hand is small craft. I don't think anything else would make any sense. Most of my stuff are combat.
No,
and
I
physical.
don't think those are going to come into place in this one. Not right now.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
no.
didn't think so either.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so I got reason 5 security.
What was,
think,
what was the question?
What's
Is Benedict being assisted by the ship with whatever this
No.
is? Okay.
This is something that Benedict would have maybe learned about earlier in the session with some of the research he was doing on various things. Let me put it that way, to keep it very... If you want to buy a
Very
dice,
simple.
you could very easily your maximum momentum.
I would say buy a dice.
Yeah, I'll buy a dice at least. Yeah, let me buy one.
With how well we've been getting momentum, I'd even say buy 2.
I don't know about 2.
We've gained and spent momentum very easily. It
I mean,
takes us down
how
to 3.
important do we
That still
think
lets
this
us...
roll it really is? Like,
But the difference
multiple.
between 1 and 2 is a lot.
Yeah, we'd
Yeah.
be spending 3 momentum, but we'd still be at 3. That still lets us buy anywhere from 2 to 3 dice.
I mean,
We haven't come up yet, but there is a complication. It takes 2 momentum to buy a complication off.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's just
I'm
do
erring on one for now.
Yep. let me just buy 1 dice.
Let me tell you,
That's fine.
in our game, when we rolled a bunch of complications, we lost momentum and we had trouble keeping it at that point in time. And it can hurt you to not have momentum. It can happen.
I think having momentum when we're like getting into like the meat of things. Right now, we're still just getting information. I think having the momentum when we're actually doing stuff will probably be more important. So I'll just buy the 1 die.
Okay.
And it is a difficulty of 2. You said
Difficulty 2. You just have to put in roll 3 dice. Let's see if you get 2 successes. Yeah.
I got 2 successes.
You got 2 successes. Okay, here's a bit of information that maybe not all of you knew about. That's something that comes to mind for you after hearing about all this stuff. It's like, this is not your thing, you know? You're not big on the science and stuff, too. No. But you remember reading through some stuff, especially because you were asked to look into stuff about the Romulans. The reason the Romulan ships give off tachyon radiation, especially when they're in their cloaks, is they are powered by a micro-singularity. The same type of thing that the Doctor is using. Now, that doesn't mean there's a Romulan connection, but it does mean he is using a similar technology of micro-singularities.
And we're already.
It also
far,
might
right? The
mean
Doctor's not here, right?
this also does scream to you why the Romulans might be very interested in it. They're very good at making micro-singularities, since they powered their ships on it.
To answer your question, yes, we're nowhere near the Doctor. He's on the planet. We're on our ship right now.
Gotcha.
He came with you.
I wasn't.
He came with you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he
Yeah.
would come with us because
No, of
he'd
course he'd come with
verify
you.
the results.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait until we get back. We're back on the ship, and like he's maybe like talking to the captain or something. I'm gonna try to pull at least a couple of people aside
You can
before we approach the captain about it.
Well, you can probably talk to him. Your other people, go ahead.
Yeah. So I would simply say, I don't mean to raise alarm, but while I was looking to some things earlier, I stumbled upon some information about the way that Romulans power their ships, and it's a similar method as to what the Doctor is using with his weapon. So it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's possible that these were independently researched, but one, this will likely bring Romulan attention, and two, we should at least consider the possibility that the good Doctor may be working for two masters.
More concerning thing that this brings to mind for me is that it sort of renders possibly renders the sensor upgrade null and void. If the ships are powered with a micro-singularity as well, and that is the reasons they give off the tachyon radiation, then the explosion of this torpedo could also release tachyon radiation, and suddenly the sensor upgrade is useless as we have just filled space with tachyons.
The answer to that inquiry is yes, it will.
This is wildly problematic.
Yes.
That does raise an interesting point, though. Experimenting with this technology could also give us information on how to scan for that signal.
Could.
I can definitely see that being the case. Long term, the prospect is good. It gives us more experience, as it were, with scanning tachyon radiation. But it does mean that were a Romulan ship to show up out of nowhere after the firing of this torpedo, we would be entirely unable to detect it. So it is a danger.
And if the Romulans are to learn that we're testing technology similar to theirs, I don't imagine they would be the most pleased.
I think that the fact that we're firing a weapon off so close to neutral ground probably won't sit well with them either. I think that my concern is the short-term effects that we will not be able to see if we're being if someone's sneaking up on us, and we're gonna have time, a not negligible amount of time before we are safely able to warp away.
Well, I am quite skilled at evasive maneuvers and helm operations, so I can at least try to get us to safety.
I do have every faith in Charlotte's abilities to keep us safe. However, perhaps we posit to the captain that we not go to red alert, as it were, but have people ready at their stations.
Yellow alert. There's a yellow alert.
Yellow alert, thank you. I knew there was one, but I could not remember it for the life of me. Perhaps we posit to the captain that we go to yellow alert.
Probably not a bad idea. Certainly the captain would be fine for that.
It's a good military test as well, after all.
Indeed.
The captain will definitely listen to your stuff. He's gonna err on the side of like caution and just say like, we should not. Well, let's wait and see what happens. And if there does seem to be danger, then we can interrogate. Then we can interrogate the doctor. I hope that this just means that he basically was observing, because we did have some more chances to deal with the Romulans recently. Maybe it helps inspire him on his development of this quantum device. And Takaran has always been close to the neutral zone. That might mean that the influence of Romulan technology could just be a natural thing in this area. So let's just do the experiment and keep an eye out. Definitely, I'd say yellow alert is a very good idea in this case, especially since certainly during the test that might be the best time to do something. When you're correct, our sensors might be useless.
Well, Captain, would we be able to postpone for a short period of time? I may be able to figure out some other solution to the sensor issue if I see if the ship can assist me with it.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have time for that. We're on orders from Starfleet, and I'm afraid we're under the Doctor's purview right now. And without a good reason, I don't think we could brace it to Starfleet. At this point in time, we only have speculations and no hard evidence on anything. We don't even know if this experiment will disrupt our sensors to the degree that we're thinking. So, that's the unfortunate thing.
Less of a long-term postponement and more a matter of if you could buy me, say, 15 minutes or so.
You're kind of already at the location and it's time to put the torpedo in. 15 minutes.
Oh no, my engineers have just discovered a slight issue with our loading base. It will take
well,
them
the thing
a
is,
brief moment.
Is you have to deliver the torpedo and then safe using a shuttlecraft because you want to position it correctly, and then place it in the freighter in its exact location, and then return to the ship. Yeah.
So what you're saying is I have the time in between the shuttle leaving and the shuttle getting back.
Yes.
Yep.
How much time do I have?
Maybe enough time. I'm going to say, if you want to be enough time, I'm going to increase the complication range. You're going to attempt to regulate the sensors. I'm guessing. What exactly you're doing?
Basically, I'm going to, and I already have that idea, Lightning, but I'm discounting it because I'm engineering and I have a different idea.
I'm the smart one.
Yes. What I want to do is, I want to modify the sensors. Basically, what I'm imagining this torpedo might do, granted this is all hypothetical, is it's going to release a large spread of tachyon radiation throughout the entire area.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to try to modify the sensors to detect more clustered emissions of tachyon radiation, more from, because you'd imagine if they were spreading out from an explosion, there'd be sort of a uniform spread, whereas maybe there's this really high concentration over here. For
this one, I'm gonna make a difficulty 3. It'll be reason engineering to adapt the sensors. You're affecting the sensors, so the ship can't help you. You could get assistance from someone. You can get generic NPC assistance, or one of the other people in the command crew, certainly. And I'm going to say it's increased complication range because of the timing. Let's give you a complication of... It's close on timing, so it's not too bad. You know, you do have time with people putting it in and stuff like that. So I'll say 2. And then whoever wants to deliver the thing, let me know also, because you will not be helping in that case. You'll be doing it on your own. And whoever's piloting can get an assistant in piloting, though.
Okay,
so that's 4 of you that I can throw off there.
Is there any way I can accomplish what I'm thinking with the ship's help?
No.
Okay.
Because you're affecting the ship directly.
Then alternatively, I'm going to go back to the first idea I had that Lightning and I were apparently on the same brainwave with. Would I instead be able to quickly modify a couple of our torpedoes to be used as probes with the assistance of the ship?
You should have your own probes already.
Okay.
The probes, unfortunately, will function on the exact same sensors as yours. Modifying them would probably take... I gotta be honest, because they actually probably have standard sensors on them. Not even modified sensors like you have. So it would take even longer. Modifying your sensors is probably actually the best bet right now, just because of the time constraint. Now granted, you could modify a number of probes in the same period of time. More difficult and more complication range. Because again, probes have their standard sensors in there. Your ship, you've already worked on them.
The key one here,
Uh-huh.
can I have the assistance of the ship if I'm modifying the probes?
Why do you want the assistance of the ship and not another player?
Because that's what I have 2 talents for.
Ah.
So let me do rerolls.
Yes, you can get the ship's help with the probes.
Okay.
But it will
Because
be...
I get bonus dice from the ship, and
Okay.
I have neural interface and technical expertise,
Alright.
which allow me to reroll dice.
Will be difficulty 4, complication range 3 to get the probes done in time. To get, like, let's say 4 probes done in time so you can spread them out at an even radius around you. To help alleviate the sensor problems that you have.
So it'd be difficulty 4,
Mm-hmm.
complication 3.
Yes.
The ship would roll 1 dice,
Ship rolls 1 dice normally.
and I'm rolling 1 dice normally.
Yep.
Can the ship buy dice with momentum?
No.
No, only I can.
Yep.
So we'd be going up to 4 dice,
Mm-hmm.
but those dice would have rerolls.
Yes.
I'd have 1 reroll for the ship's dice, and I'd want to have 1 for my own dice.
Okay.
What do you guys think about that?
Sure, why not?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause-
Go on the probe route.
Who's
Well,
piloting
further,
the tunnel, by the way?
I was gonna put this
do I
right.
buy the 1 dice, and then the ship and I need to get 4 successes on 4 dice? Or buy 2 dice, and the ship and I need 4 successes on 5 dice?
Does it cost
Is it-
you anything to reroll, or is it free?
Free. I can reroll the ship's dice, and I can reroll 1 of my dice because I'm being assisted by the ship.
Is it just once per scene or something though?
It does not say anything about that, no.
Okay, so I think
neural interface is initiating the link is a minor action. While they're connected, they may re-roll the d20 gained from the ship's systems. However, if the ship suffers a breach, I suffer 3 points of stress. And technical expertise is whenever you attempt a task assisted by the ship's computers or sensors, you may re-roll 1 d20.
okay, yeah, then yeah, these are just standard ones. So yeah, okay. But no,
So
I
what do
would
you guys
at
think?
least buy 1.
Yes,
Yeah, I have to buy
at least,
1.
At least 1.
Do I
much
buy the second
momentum
one to
do
give
we-
us 5 dice?
How much momentum do we
I
have?
would put us down to
6.
2 if you bought 2.
No, we have 6 at the moment.
Didn't we use
Momo
one?
got a bunch of extra.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I got it back.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, we're up
Um,
to 6 momentum. We could spend 5 dice between me and the ship to get our 3 probes out there, or 4 probes, I think Tanta said.
yep, I said 4 probes.
Which
Like,
at least would
I mean,
spread our
like
sensor
technically
area.
speaking, there are more cardinal directions or something, but I'm
Yeah.
like enough. Well, I'll just say to get enough probes to handle a sensor area around you. We'll just say that. I don't unspecified number.
Yeah, it's not
Sure, why don't you
guaranteed
go up-
to get enough.
Go 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So get 4 dice.
Biscuit for the biscuit.
Because if this works, we've got like this wide sensor range, which is good.
Really quick before you do that,
Yep.
why don't we ask? Is the doctor coming with us to set the torpedo?
Whoever wants to do control the well, actually, you probably need at least 2 people. You could take more.
No, I'm talking about the doctor. The
Oh
guy who
no,
made the-
no, he's not. He is staying aboard your vessel.
He should. I think he should. He's the one with the most expertise with this.
He has expertise in designing it, and he is going to definitely be like, don't have expertise in placing the weapons. I rely on your security, your fine expertise in Starfleet. That's why I asked for your help.
Well, I am the best damn pilot, so I should probably pilot the shuttle.
You can have one person assist you, and then you can at least have one person placing it in the freighter, and you could probably, since Meowdy's taking care of it, you could get someone else to assist in placing it in the freighter. It requires engineering to successfully place it in the hold of the freighter, and like get it set up, and it'll be con related to fly over there. So if everybody else wants to go over there, you can just pair off into what you feel like you can do.
I can get y'all over there.
My con is a 3, so I can help with that.
How's your daring, Benedict?
My daring's a 12.
And then
My
you are
daring.
great at helping out in the getting over there. And then I guess your Borg and hologram can install it.
Because you guys have good engineering, right? Or decent engineering, at least.
I'm just sending the doctor over there because I want the doctor to do something, because nothing medical has happened yet.
Because, yeah, if you've got a 3, what do you have, Lightning? You got a 2?
I have a 2 in engineering, but I have high reason and if I
Okay.
need that or control.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
between the two of you, you should be able to place the torpedo correctly.
Yeah. All right. So, Meowdy, roll first, and then we'll go for some rolls for putting the torpedo in while you're doing
Okay. So I'm rolling 4 because I bought 2.
Yep.
And the convocation range was,
that. 3.
and the target is 4.
Yep. I'm going to roll for the ship here. Boom.
Okay, well, ship's
You
died,
can
reroll.
re-roll both of those 20s.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, reroll mine as well. So I'll just roll 1, and that's our 4 successes. Yay, we get momentum back too! We get 2 back!
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah.
Let's go! Okay, so we're at 5 momentum right now, and the
Oh,
probes are successfully modified in time, and we have sensor coverage!
Yeah. Good work.
That's why I wanted the ship, because I can reroll with the ship.
Uh-huh. I wanted those complications so much. It would have been so wonderful.
Not today, sir.
I'm so sorry, DM.
You know
You get
what?
no, hold up. You get those from Charlotte. She's the one that gives you like threat and shit.
I was
I'm
excited
just
for
going to subtract some numbers here just for fun for later on. Just saying. I'm going to spend some threat. You don't know what I'm spending it on, but I'm spending some threat, adding
You'll
something
get
in
that
here.
Don't you worry.
Uh-huh. I have plenty.
Okay.
Anyway, for those of you who are driving the shuttlecraft over there, you need a daring or control plus con. I'm guessing Charlotte will be the main one, and Benedict will be assisting. Benedict, you'll only roll 1 dice. It's difficulty.
Control con is 15 for me.
Well,
It's 15 for me too.
Yeah.
For daring con.
Yeah, and Bob, you've got the better engineering ability with the torpedo versus Benedict.
I mean, mine is, if I do daring con, it's minus 16.
well, it's only difficulty 1, so maybe you can earn that 1 momentum back.
Yeah, we could earn the momentum back. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the main roll.
Mhm.
So I want to help. Blop.
Okay.
So am I rolling to assist then?
Yeah. So you roll 1
die.
die. Yeah, to roll
I'm
the
like
assist.
teaching how to fly, so you can replace me in the next season.
When things explode.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, you got your momentum back. Then I will need the people that are placed for Bob and Steph for placing the safely placing the torpedo in the hold. It'll be daring or control plus engineering. I don't know which one of you wants to roll first.
I am a lot better at control versus daring.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we have to roll the same thing.
Yeah, I'm a 14. Do we want to use any momentum since we're full again?
Might as
Maybe
well.
buy a dice. You
Go
should
for it.
do the main
Well-
roll.
What's the target, Tantus?
1.
Oh,
These are all
Man,
difficulty
alright.
1 checks here. They're like.
Use it and then get it back.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Yeah, spent 1, got 1 back.
Uh huh. Yeah. Well, okay.
Very delicately.
can we create an advantage situation out of all this momentum? What is that? Is that 2?
It is
That's
indeed 2 to create an
3.
advantage. And you got 2. You got 3 extra, so you could indeed spend 2 to create an advantage in the situation here. All right.
We're
Sure.
not going to lose anything by doing that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
it's still
not quite
beat 6.
sure how advantage is it going to be. Maybe
With placing it in the hold here, you could just
maybe
say
like right in the middle of the ship, so we get the best.
I could say
something.
you just say you spent it, you created an advantage. I will keep in mind what that advantage is. So you've created an advantage into
Alright.
this situation here. And then finally is there is a control con difficulty 1 to return to the ship in the shuttlecraft. Once again, it can be Charlotte and Benedict to get back.
Well,
All right.
my rolls are on fire today.
All right, and then I just have 1 day still.
Yep. Because you're assisting in this case. And
Best damn pilot on the ship.
yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay.
The last 12 dice have not had a 0 on them. I'm worried.
Yeah, no, we're gonna be fucked.
Also, we currently have an unspecified threat and an unspecified advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Well, the related, like, I spent threat and created a situation related to what was going on at the time, which was the probes. And this is you created advantage related to placing the bomb in the ship.
You're not
So-
attached to the probes.
Those are related to each of
Not
those
particularly.
things.
The probes are not my ship. They are tools.
Like your best friend.
Okay. So, as you move the ship to a safe viewing distance of approximately, they give me actually this 100,000 kilometers. They actually give me a safe viewing distance in the book here, and I missed it up until now. So hey, you know what? Let's see here. I will need. Let's just. God, this thing page is very weirdly.
We're currently distance from the torpedo, a third of the way from Earth to the moon.
Are we? Are we in the small ship when we're detonating this thing, or are we getting back on our?
Assuming we're in the big blue.
Yeah.
Or chunky lad.
Okay.
Charlotte's back to pilot.
It's probably better if we're on the ship before we detonate that. Probably don't want to be.
Oh, certainly.
You didn't burn the ship down while it was done.
This is my ship. Of course I would not. You are the one that causes damage to my baby. But I respect your piloting, so it's worth it.
Okay. Okay, God. So what is going to happen is, as you get back to the ship and get to your stations and kind of move to the safe distance, I want, Meowdy, since you set up the sensor network, I want you to, roll a, in this case, it'll be a reason science check. You're picking up something on your sensor network that you set up already.
Ooh.
I will roll. The ship gets a bonus dice.
Target and task?
This
Or,
will
wait,
be
target and comp?
no complications.
Okay.
Target number will be just 2 right now.
Okay, I'm still connected to the ship currently.
Mhm.
Through a neural interface.
Yep.
So, rerolls!
Mhm.
Reroll mine in the ship.
Oh, you don't want the DM to have fun.
Nope.
Well, you got the
We
2.
have the fun here.
You got the 2. There are some as you're kind of moving into position, there are strange subspace disturbances occurring nearby to your ship and nearby to the freighter. The weapon has
Okay.
not detonated yet.
He's going to tap his communicator and contact Benedict and the captain.
Mhm.
I thought that the two of you should be aware. The sensor network is currently picking up disturbances, it seems, relatively close to our ship and to the freighter. I'm not entirely sure what they are, just that there are subspace disturbances in the vicinity of the two vessels.
Lieutenant Charlotte, run a sensor sweep.
Of course. What? Okay, I will run a sensor sweep.
This is effectively, you're going to roll. Actually, no. It'll probably be. Actually, probably in this case, it would be Lieutenant Hershlag. Run a sensor sweep.
Okay,
Because
what does that require?
this will be you using the ship, which I will give you. I roll the bonus dice, but you're going to roll a insight security because you've now picked up on these things and you're going to try to read them because these are strange things that might interfere with the security of the ship. So you're going to run security sensors.
What's our momentum at right now?
6.
6. You were full.
We cool 5 buy a dice.
Yeah, buy a dice. Throw it down.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Go
Buy
ahead.
a dice then. I don't think I need to buy 2, but buying a dice is
Sure.
to be here.
I'm going to tell you, your focus will apply. I'm not telling you which focus, but
So
one
I
of them
do
is
have
going
a
to
focus,
apply.
though. Okay,
you
cool.
have your focus.
And complication range is 1 unless you say otherwise, right?
It is
So,
1 unless I say otherwise. Yep.
boom.
Ship will assist you.
And the momentum's back.
Yep, the momentum is certainly back. You'll kind of reading, and you'll detect that there seems to be these strange micro tears in subspace forming. You're detecting some kind of signature from inside these tears that maybe seems akin to like a vessel of some kind or something.
What?
Sir. Sir, I am detecting some very strange readings here. I think that there may be I think that we may be no longer alone.
Okay. Raise shields, which unfortunately is a little late, as these things appear inside the range of your shields. These, about half a dozen small vessels, and I mean like small, like shuttlecraft-sized vessels, appear. About 3 of them near your vessel, and 3 of them near the freighter. Each one of them will kind of, like, skim along the outside of your ships. None of you recognize these at all. As, I'm going to... What's the best way to roll this? I'm just gonna roll... Since I don't actually know the exact rolling for this, I'm just gonna make it cinematic if you people don't mind. They're going to hit your ship with some kind of strange energy attacks that are going to disrupt your power systems.
Not my baby's power systems!
Oh,
Yes.
what the hell was that?
Mm-hmm. Things will be flashing, like, I'm going to tell you, like, the warp field collapses at the hit of this, and impulse is down. Other settings, you're getting malfunctions in a lot of the systems across the ship with this energy field, Meowdy, that you can sense. Medical's fine.
Hey.
Bob, you got to go to the freaking
Portable.
portable. You got to go portable.
Yep.
And shields are down, Benedict, at this hit.
I would of course announce that
Mhm.
and say and mention the attacks on our energy source. If they were to try the board, I don't know how common boarding is, and like
Boarding can occur. Vessels of that size, I'm going to say, because you got some sensor information right before that. Like, computers aren't down. There's a lot of disruption in the power flows, so it's like it's really hard to get like a full thing of it. Again, the vessels are probably like shuttlecraft size. So if there was a boarding party on each one of them, there might be at most half a dozen to a dozen individuals.
Where would they board from, most likely?
They would have to either break their way into the like shuttle bay, which has big bay doors in its way, cut a hole in one of the sides. There are a couple of airlocks on the ship, but again, they'd have to cut their way into those. You're not.
I'm gonna call security staff to cover any of the airlocks and
Okay.
call for people for them to lock down the.
I'm gonna say
shuttle
your communicators aren't disrupted enough. You'll get the message out. You'll get a couple of security details going to all the normal locations they might try to break into. If they do try to just cut in somewhere, you're not going to be able to account for that, But
Yeah.
yeah. The rest of you can see kind of that the other vessels seem to be dealing with the derelict ship. They seem to be attempting to steal the torpedo. They will quickly get to work doing so, breaking open the ship where you kind of very nicely put it in the hold, and removing the torpedo, not with a tractor beam, but with a physical kind of grappler of some kind, an actual mechanical grappler.
Is that like, can I... They're very far away. Is there like a shape I can make out? No, because he said we didn't recognize these ships, so no.
Mm-hmm.
Can we detonate the bomb?
I'm going to say no. Short-term communications are okay, but signaling the bomb is currently down with the disruption.
Because I wasn't even sure, even if we would.
Mhm.
But I wanted to know if that was on the table.
Mhm.
Also, Meowdy's going to alert the captain that our work field's currently down and Impulse is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that advantage we got when we...
Oh, the advantage for placing that thing, I'm applying it now. Let me put it this way. You will find out about the advantage you got in a second. It will actually help you a bunch. Anyway.
If we'd secured it to the bulkhead or something.
You secured it very well. And let me put you that has certainly caused a complication. Not for you, but for them. They will get the bomb. they will disappear into these strange subspace fields, along with the 3 around you. A few minutes after they disappear, your ship will regain power. It seems as though whatever they hit you with was a very short-term burst.
Okay. Everything up here seems to be working. Is everyone else's stations functional?
Functional, but I think the ego took a little bit of that.
There probably was some issues with, like, the inertial dampers and artificial gravity in some places, with the power disruptions. So, like, some people got bumped up and beat up. A couple of people got bruises, no major injuries. But Medical Bay is getting some work done.
Yeah, medical had no problems.
Yeah, just a few scrapes and bruises.
Maddie calms back up to the captain. Warfield's come back online. Impulse is alive again. Whatever they hit us with, it's rather short-term, Captain.
Great. I want a full sensor sweep. I want to know where they came from, where they're going, and what the hell just happened to us. What's your current momentum at?
6.
6. Hey, I'll just give you some information that you can find without much of a check. This is it. It appears that the torpedo was damaged when they retrieved it.
Who finds... Benedict, this is probably you, because you're on the bridge and Manny Tactical.
Yeah, probably Manny Tactical.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
The torpedo was damaged when they pulled it out. Because you secured it in such a really good way, it was very difficult to get out of there. It ended up being damaged when they retrieved it.
Yeah, I'm definitely saying that it's likely that they damaged the they damaged the missile when they were retrieving it. It was well secured, and since they decided to physically rip the thing out,
there is a signature of tachyon radiation in the area that was leaking out from the damage.
So, would we be able to track that tachyon radiation?
You might be able to track that tachyon radiation. Definitely. So you'll secure ship systems, again, because we're one shot, we don't want to go through the full shabam. You'll make sure everything is okay. It does take you a little while, so you are behind on the chase, etc. If someone wants to analyze the sensor data you got from their ships or something, you can.
How about you?
And what kind of role would that look like? Just
Yeah.
'cause
I don't exactly know what it doesn't sound like something I would be qualified for. So I have been manning the sensors. So I guess I've been manning the sensors, so I'd at least.
Well, someone else. I mean, it'd probably be to analyze. It would be like reason science to analyze the signatures and stuff. If you want to analyze the short bit of sensors you got on the vessels, I would say in this case it would be either reason or insight security to analyze the vessels.
I could help with that.
Okay.
The insight security one, I think I can do okay. I cannot do the reason science one.
So someone else could analyze the subspace tears they created.
Yeah, I could help with the insight security role.
Okay. So, what do you have for insight security?
11 insight to security, so I could assist you.
Okay. Yes, I have 12. All right. Cool. So we'll do that.
Analyzing the ships, would you say is its difficulty 1 to get a general analysis on it? And if you want to spend extra momentum on questions,
I dice.
Well, I was saying if you want to spend momentum on questions, then
Yeah,
we
that
can see if
might
you get
be
a question.
the
I will give you the
1-1.
basics.
Yeah. So
So you do yours first, then I'll do mine.
1.
Ooh.
Oof.
Do you want
Can
to
we-
spend 2 momentum to cancel your complication?
Yes,
Hold on. Let me see here.
It was bound to happen. What are you guys thinking? Spend it to cancel it? Got 6 momentum.
I'm okay with it.
Alright, yeah. We'll cancel that
Okay.
out.
Down to 4 momentum. Now, you do have the option of spending some of your momentum to ask questions, but I will give you the basics that you learn from just the simplest bits of the sensor suites. The vessel's made of relatively... It's a small vessel. It's made of some materials that are not used as much in space-dwelling vessels lately. They're like older materials, definitely. But they're ones that still work in spaceships. You know, like, there is no sign of any warp signature to the vessel. It does not appear, other than having impulse engines, to have a warp drive, a traditional one. Whatever kind of drive it used, not recognizable. And you do not recognize the weapon signatures on this thing. Like, you could not tell what kind of weapons it has. It used that some kind of strange energy blast into you, but that's all you picked up. Now, if you wanted to ask extra questions about this, to dive deeper into there, you certainly could. But you'd have to spend momentum to ask more questions.
Like, did the doctor know this was going to happen?
That would be interrogating the doctor, not asking the DM. Your sensors wouldn't tell you that. There's extra information your sensors could learn about that maybe...
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think this role we're terribly concerned about what we can get. I think whoever can try to swing the tracking the tachyon, that would be something we want to use a lot of momentum on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to disagree here from engineering perspective. You guys could ask about the weapons, try and figure out, because you're asking the DM, you can try and ask, you know, what kind of weapon are they, and we might be able to have a counter or defense against them.
Yeah, I will, if that is okay, everyone. I will ask, for, I don't know how to phrase it, but I guess more information on this weapon. What kind of weapon was it? What kind of...
The weapon that was used on you, which is the one that you got the best view on, it seemed to be some kind of... akin to a torpedo. Except it wasn't meant to, like, cause a massive amount of damage. It basically was like a energy torpedo that disrupted your own power systems.
So kind of like Andy.
You might be able to counter it. The thing is, like, you could adjust your power systems to absorb more of the energy, but the problem is, it's going to depend on how many of them they hit you with, and probably someone's going to be having to be ready to regulate that power.
I'm plugged into the computer. Into the ship, I mean. That's good information to have, guys.
You might get disrupted by this. It's not a breach, but I feel like because you're plugged into the ship and the ship is getting, like, electrocuted effectively, it might do the same to you, though, is the only thing.
Yeah. But this is my ship, and I will protect it.
Okay. So you could possibly counter it next time you encounter it, you think. Okay.
Bob,
Carpe, Bob, do you want to science this up a notch?
Sure.
I think, I can't remember what your character's name is because it's too goddamn long.
Steph.
Steph, have any science that could help out?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Ship will help, though. Ship helps.
Ship does indeed help.
Yeah. Ship help. Difficulty 2, though, so you still have to get a success at least.
And so what is this role? Insight science?
Insight science, yes.
Okay. Should I...
Well, insight or reason, your choice on that one, I'll say.
Okay. Should I buy one?
Yeah,
up to you.
best.
I'm okay with it if you choose to.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it.
you would like to.
Okay. So you'll earn 1 back.
Yep, we're at 3 still.
You would actually look into this, and the closest thing that you could compare this to is something akin to the trans-warp drives that Borgs use. It seems to be a miniaturized, or maybe not miniaturized, but the vessel seems to be able to open up like a trans-warp corridor, almost. It's not as sophisticated as what the Borg use, certainly, but it still does the same thing. They actually throw their vessels into subspace to travel. Which, traveling through subspace is a lot faster than traveling through normal space.
Huh.
It still can be time-consuming, but it is far less than normal warp, but going into subspace has its own difficulties and dangers, you know. Vessels of this size don't traditionally have the ability to access subspace safely. And certainly comparing it to the schematics, or the general schematics that Benedict picked up on, you don't know how it's doing it. There's got to be something else to the way it's traveling to allow it to do this, but it theoretically, on its own, shouldn't be able to travel through transwarp.
Well, obviously I'm going to share this with the crew.
Mm-hmm. The other disadvantage of traveling through transwarp is you can't tell where you're ending up as much. You know, you can't sensor sweep while you're on your way. You might travel faster, but you're blind jumping into an area. More often than not. These folks kind of knew what they were doing. That also tells you.
Can he track them?
Well, there's this nice tachyon signature that's left over there. Might be able to track that.
That seems like the best bet.
I guess someone can roll a reason engineering to calibrate the sensors to track it down.
Okay. Do I cheese this and ask if the ship helps or no?
Not in this case. The ship helps.
Okay.
God, it's so hard to give an excuse to do medicine in this one. Actually, there might be a reason to roll medicine. You had a sensor sweep of them. They also, I have to say, had probably nowhere near as advanced shields as you do. Their shields were, in fact, relatively primitive.
So
hey,
sensors penetrated.
Sensors penetrated. Steph, if you want to give me a insight or reason medicine, you could see what the sensors told you about these folks that you registered. If you get a sign of their life signs that were on board.
Reason medicine?
Reason medicine. And the ship can assist.
I don't think I have any focuses that apply.
Okay.
10 is what's the target?
2 will be enough. Definitely. We'll say 1 was a difficulty, so you want to bank momentum or do you want to spend it to get more information? I will tell you, you will get a sense of the species that was in there. It seemed humanoid. You penetrated the ship, but there was something refracting a bit of the sensors from detecting their life signs completely. It did not recognize as any species that's in a known database. So this is what...
Brain.
Okay.
You can spend the momentum to get another to ask him a question, or we can bank it.
There was something.
Just
there
bank
was
it.
something not on the ship, but inside the ship, disrupting your sensors a little bit, unusually.
Okay. What was the target on the tracking roll?
The tracking roll. I'm gonna say this is actually a pretty difficult task. Target difficulty 3.
Okay. Ship can't assist.
Because you're calibrating the sensors to pick up on a specific trail of tachyons.
Does engineering have a bob emitter?
Bob's got a
got
mobile emitter. Bob can show up and help.
What attribute would it be? Control?
You could assist with control engineering if you wanted to.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we've
I would
got
like
3 dice.
So
Do we spend one and go down to...
Yeah.
We have 3 dice currently. Target's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Spend momentum or not, guys?
Well, we
We're
just
at 4 right now.
so.
Did you bank the one that I got?
Yep, we're at 4.
Okay.
I don't think we need to.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying, like, so while you're, like, entering the theory, like, you know, Bob's doing the fine-tuning of the, it's sort of like, so, like, you're, like, you know, calibrating the kind of degree of it, and then, like, Bob's, you know, like, making sure it's, like, exacting and, like, fine-tuning it down to the edge, so it's, like, you're kind of combining your, like, knowledge and a bit of, like, exacting control. We made it!
Where'd those ships go?
I don't know why.
Where'd those ships go? I don't know. Why?
I think the Romulans showed up and are bothering Tantus.
Yeah. Sure.
They were angry about the torpedo. They attacked our DM.
Okay. You can find out. You think you can track it?
Okay. I'm gonna send the relevant data up to Khan.
Should we ask any further questions?
You could spend
we
momentum
didn't get
to
any
ask
bonuses.
But you could theoretically spend momentum to ask questions. I don't think you have to necessarily have banked it on the question you have to spend momentum. Yeah. It's usually easy. It's like better to do it then, but you could still spend momentum to ask questions about it. To get more information now that you're kind of tuned it in.
Right, it was a difficulty 3. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I don't really have any questions. I just wanted to make sure that we can track it so Charlotte can follow it.
Okay.
And I sent the relevant data up to the Con.
Okay. With their success, it's not going to be difficult to, what you think, to track it. Granted, they're going to be traveling at a transwarp speed. But it seems as though what you calibrated your sensors to is that the tachyon emissions from the probe are not only leaking into subspace, they're leaking into normal space too. So it's sort of like it's like a bread trail that kind of leaks out of this energy signature. I will still need a check from you, Charlotte, in order to track this, because it requires you to keep up with it to a degree. The energy does degrade. So I will need a control con check. I'm just going to say difficulty 2.
Okay. Can you keep at my focus to see if any apply?
Bob, what was you asking?
Can I help? Because I have a focus in astronavigation.
I also have that. I wasn't sure if that would help.
That
or not.
would indeed help in this case. So both of you could assist, and both of you would get your focuses. Okay. It will still be control con for both of you then. Bob, just roll 1 die.
Sweet.
I can roll for the ship assistance too. The ship will assist because you're using the ship also. All right. So yeah, you'll bank a couple of momentum, and you certainly will be able to pilot the craft after it. You will have to go at high warp after it, though. Is the only thing. Your captain will basically say, like, I think this is a good excuse to break the high warp regulation. I forget what the heck it's called. Traveling at faster than warp 5 normally requires special
warp speed limit.
The warp speed limit, yeah. Well, Charlotte. I mean, there was technical reasons behind that high warp speeds do technically damage subspace too.
I kind of like the image of there just being like floating speed signs in space, though. Maximum speed in this area, warp 5.
Yeah, except that right now we're basically in Texas where there's speed signs.
Yeah, a smirk will creep onto Charlotte's face, and she will happily break these regulations.
I think your ship can go at warp 9.5. So
time to be daring, Charlotte.
Yeah.
She will happily break them.
Okay, you will keep up with the trail, and you are actually going to head not towards Romulan space, but what would be closer towards the border of the Federation, nearest towards the galactic core. So you're actually going to kind of like, if you star map, like if you're looking at it where the Federation's kind of in the southern section of the galaxy map, and like, because that's where the Alpha Quadrant is, and the Beta Quadrant where the Romulans is kind of like the southeastern side, Alpha Quadrant southwestern. You're heading like kind of like this direction, so kind of like northwesterly, kind of like paralleling or paralleling the neutral zone, heading for the galactic core, and actually will start to head off away from the neutral zone a little bit too. So it's certainly not heading for Romulan space, wherever these people are going. Eventually, you will track it to a frontier world, a small colony far outside the normal purview of the Federation. That seems to be, isolated away from places. The colony is identified as Zerion 5 after the planet. It is a Federation database. It is records. It's known to be outside of normal Federation and Starfleet control. It tends to be a haven for unsavory elements. There hasn't been much contact with Zerion 5 in the last 50 years, maybe. So, what has become of it since that 50 years? Well, you can easily detect there's a number of small vessels around. Some of them are identifiable. Some of them are like of old Federation or Federation make of various species. There's a number of Orion vessels in the area. A couple of Ferengi vessels. This area does seem to be some kind of port of call in the area. You do not detect in space the vessels you are tracking, and you lose track of it when it kind of goes down to planet side. It seems as though, because they are small and shuttle-sized, they can land on the planet, and the tachyon flow ends right around the edge of the planet. You can easily take up orbit, where you will be hailed by the planet.
I'd let the captain know.
Yeah.
Captain, they're hailing us.
On screen.
And I would oblige.
Greetings. This is... I have to remember the names of the characters again. Captain Yolan of the Federation starship Chimera. We are here in pursuit of criminals who've stolen some Federation technology. This is Zarin 5. I can see we don't want any trouble from any Federation business. Feel free to pursue your criminals, but inform us before you would go into any kind of arrest with them. Otherwise, take care of your business and get out of our territory. Federation has never helped us. We do not want the Federation's help. Understandable. I hope that we can take care of this in a reasonable manner. He'll just kind of hang up.
Well, they are not exactly friendly.
Charlotte, I want you to assemble a away team and head down to the planet. Please find out all you can. Investigate it. Look into these individuals. We have a basic idea of some biosigns thanks to Steph's help, and a model of their ships. If there are shipyards down there of any kind, it might be hard to detect them in amongst all the buildings and such. And this area out here. And we're getting sensor interference. I just spent some threat. Just because I remember
Suddenly out of nowhere.
Sorry, I forgot that's something I should do because you might be able to detect them on the planet. It's just that the planet's magnetic field interferes with our sensors and makes this very hard for us to detect these ships if they've landed on it.
Can we still detect the torpedo?
No. Your sensors are still being refracted. You can read the tachyon signatures somewhere on the planet, and you identify it as being in, like, the northern hemisphere continent, or, like, a region in the northern hemisphere. I'd say it's, like, it's a pretty big region, but it's, like, maybe, like, the region of Spain. It's big, but he's like, you'll also detect there is a large city in that area. You will be able to detect that at most. Head to that city. Maybe start there for an investigation. and maybe use some like tricorders, try to take sensors, and see if you can track where those ships are and find these individuals. We'll work with the local government to try to see if we can acquire them and get back the torpedo. Try to keep information about the torpedo's danger and experimental nature as much to ourselves as possible. This is still top secret Federation material. Try to acquire it before it can either, from the looks of this place, be sold off to some scrupulous third party. For all we know, it still could be the Romulans that are behind this.
Oh. Alright, Captain.
Or some other unscrupulous group.
Of course. I'll assemble my team.
The normal team?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
The normal team.
It's the good old Federation. We need a science officer. We need a security expert. So, of course, we take the chief of security. We need an engineer, just in case it's something engineering related. We need the engineer. And we need a medical officer, so we take Steph because, you know, Roger sucks.
Meowdy is going to get a comm message of, I need you to step away from your baby and do some actual work.
Transport room 3.
Yep.
He will acquiesce.
Mm-hmm.
He is a happy character. He is happy to oblige.
Alright. You can transport down to a planet. It's a temperate planet. Or it's a regionally temperate planet, so I'd say like very Earth-like atmosphere. You know, you're in the northern hemisphere, so you're probably what akin might be to an area like Spain. So a little warmer, you know, so it's kind of that area within the summer. We'll just say it's kind of like a little warmer, you know, kind of like very like Mediterranean kind of climate. A large city. It does seem to be some kind of like space dock for a lot of shuttles and transport vessels. As it doesn't look like there's a shuttle station in orbit. So it looks like the best place to drop things off for transport or make trades is by shuttle. Again, there's like the Orion, all the vessels in orbit, you know. And this is certainly a busy place. And this seems to be one of many busy ports across the planet. You'll probably transport in to... They have designated transport spots, because they're still as transporters. I'm just gonna roll something for... a generic crew member to transport you down, because it's still probably difficulty 1. He can use the ship, though.
Also, transfer about to hit 3 hours.
I know. We've hit 2:47, so I'm watching.
I need to go to the bathroom at least.
You want me to take another break, and then we can go for the last bit here? See if we can finish up in time?
Sure.
Since we were saying we were going towards, like, when we talked about it, we were going towards maybe, like, 11:30 to midnight in between there. So, okay, let's take a, 5-minute break then. Maybe a little less than that. We'll see what we can do. Drink, snack, bathroom break if you want to do that. And then we'll go into this last bit here, as this theoretically will resolve everything. Theoretically. So.
Theoretically.
All right. Back soon.
Which is not an Eldritch Abomination.
Which is not an Eldritch Abomination. Anyway, we're back. Hi. I might not have compared Pokemon to Eldritch Abominations on break.
Again, Canthus does it a lot. He needs help.
I play Pokemon Go way too much, but you know what? It's one of the better addictions I have. It's probably costs a lot less money than this thing that's going to float into view. Magic cards.
Magic cards?
Oh. Actual gambling.
Anyway.
What about magic cards?
I pulled out magic
I know
cards.
what you're talking about. Magikarp is a Pokemon.
Anyway, so you
Sounds
find yourself
delicious.
in a busy and very seedy town. You're probably kind of like on a main street. There's a number of like businesses selling all manner of things. You can see that there's places and shops selling like strange animals, some of which are probably not even from this planet, things like that. A number of bars, seating gambling places. It's a place that obviously is away from the normal laws of the Federation and stuff.
A wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah.
Is there a man who totally didn't shoot first but shot first
Did
here?
you say McClunky?
There's probably a McClunky here.
Is there anybody here I could buy death sticks from?
I hear he has an
Yeah.
action figure.
You don't want to buy death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
Does anybody's friend not like me?
Yes. It's like, my friend says he doesn't like you
I'll punch
for
him
just
so
showing
hard.
up.
I'll punch him right in the face. Don't mess with me.
So what kind of role would I would like to sort of, I know that people around here don't necessarily like Federation Starfleet personnel, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can get anybody to talk to us. What sort of role would I need to
Presence command.
You can
command?
either be threatening or kind.
Oh,
If you're
I'm
threatening,
gonna try to be like
I would also like to try that and use my disarming nature to gain trust.
don't you
ah,
also have like diplomacy or some weirdness?
You have diplomacy as well. I would
So
you
why
might be the
don't-
one
why-
to lead here.
you might be rolling first, and Benedict might be assisting.
So I want to be nice about it.
So why don't we have definitely probably suggest Charlotte roll, but then Benedict, you can assist and roll 1 dice of it.
And this is for President's Command.
Yeah. You're basically like helping out, like talking. Like 2 of you are trying to like talk together, and you're
We
trying
might
to
want to
assist.
spend some momentum here, like maybe buy a dice.
Disarming nature, by the way. Let me find it because it's on my cheat sheet somewhere.
It lowers the difficulty by 1, I think.
It lowers the difficulty of any test to make your target relax or trust you by 1.
Okay, so it'll be difficulty 1 then with your disarming command, because they are not very trusting of you. Now, granted, they're not like, they understand the Federation, they're outside of it, but like, you know, they know that you're generally good people. They're just not super trusting. That's why I put it difficulty 2. You use it to 1. You've got a good nature.
Could I use my diplomacy focus as
Your
well?
diplomacy focus would apply, definitely.
Crap.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, and Benedict comes in for the clutch.
No, that was wrong.
Oh,
I had my
that's-
focus used by accident.
So it's just a 1.
It's just a 1 then.
Okay.
Because that just ups the crit range, it would just be a 1 because you roll a 3.
My bad.
That's fine. That's fine. Still, you get 1 extra momentum. You can bank it, or you could spend it to kind of try to get more information from this person.
We're at max, so feel free to ask a question, guys.
All right, so the guy will be like,
Let's
you'll kind of come to like a local that's like selling some things, maybe selling some like cloths and stuff. They seem to be like bartering for a lot of stuff, so that seems to be what the main thing is here, barter. A lot of trading. Maybe like there's probably some gold pressed latinum going around too. You know, the Ferengi monetary system. So it's probably a little bit of bartering, or latinum is kind of taken at most shops. So he's like, can I help you with anything? And this is let's say this is a Klingon man actually.
Oh, Klingon.
Mm-hmm. He seems to be selling like what appears to be like these like fine like rugs or something, but they're depicting like battle scenes or something.
That's awesome. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Obviously Klingon art.
It's obviously Klingon art. There
Okay.
also looks like in the back of the shop there may be weapons, like
Fair.
melee weapons. So he's also selling those. So it's like he's there's
Klingon art.
yeah. So he's like kind of like at this like front stall area, and you can kind of go look back into the back of the shop too. So it's like one of those kind of like open up shops, which is kind of like moving out into the streets a little bit. Could I interest you in one of my fine rugs, depicting many a great battle scenes that my ancestors participated in? While I may not be the finest warrior, a fine Klingon tailor can display great battle scenes and great victories that the Klingon Empire has enacted. Or could I interest you in something a little bit more visceral?
I'm not sure how to phrase this, but I would want to like ask. I guess if he's, how would I phrase what I want to ask? I would like to compliment his rugs because they're very lovely. What kind of currency do they take? Because
again, like
We
platinum,
don't have money.
I don't have
platinum,
money, but
or barter. You could do like you
Barter.
could trade for certain things.
I don't
your
have anything to trade.
You don't really have anything to trade right now. Your in this circumstance, your ship probably wouldn't have any latinum in it. A Starfleet ship can be assigned like latinum or something, gold plus latinum, if they're going into situations where they might deal with species that use it. You know,
Unfortunate. I would basically, I guess.
Actually, I'd say maybe your ship might have some, just as an emergency situation, like if you would run into like a Ferengi or something that they would need to make a deal with or something. Or another species
Not
like
an emergency, unfortunately.
yeah. It's not really an emergency, so you really couldn't call upon it. You might be able to request it from the
Sad.
captain.
Sadly, I will not request it for greedy needs. I guess Charlotte would want to I guess ask if this guy has seen anyone. I don't know how to phrase it. Like if they've seen anyone new in very strange ships.
There are plenty of travelers that come in and out of this port. Is one of the reasons I set up here. I originally went on a journey, finding out places that my ancestors fought. I ended up here when my ship got damaged, but it turns out there are plenty of people that enjoy good Klingon wares.
I don't know if you would know, but I would also specifically mention the way that those ships seem to travel.
That I've heard rumors about. They say there's some new folks that have been coming in for the last couple of months. Strange fellows that appear out of nowhere. Those might be the ones you're looking for.
I think they might be. Do you happen to know where we could find them? Any leads or anything?
It's said that a particular bar they like to hang out at, the group of them, once they're done their various missions. They're strange fellows. They never quite, they wear this unusual armor. And just sit there and drink. Never eating anything. In the, very unusual fellows.
It's very strange.
They do seem to have respect. One of them did buy one of my rugs one time. I only got a brief view of him. Klingon body armor keeps parts of it, only covers our bodies, our torsos, our legs. It's built into our uniforms. They wear armor that covered their entire bodies.
Very odd.
I assume they functioned as a spacesuit too of some kind.
Perhaps. Well, I must say, are they rugs or like tapestries?
I'd say the tapestries will say then, actually.
Your tapestries are very lovely. Perhaps if I can find the money, I will purchase one from you.
Thank you very much, Starfleet. I'm glad that the Federation, the Klingon Empire, continue to be on good relations.
I've served with a few Klingons, and they have my utmost respect, honestly. Any fierce warrior like that. Impressive.
Shame that I missed out on that great war. I could have seen some great scenes and put them into my tapestries. But only rumors and bits of information ever reached this far away from known space.
Well, I did serve for a short time during it, so I could tell you a few stories once I'm done here.
Then I'm glad we can have this chat, Federation.
So, if there's any other questions, if you want to spend momentum on them, go ahead.
Yeah, he's opened up. You've gotten him talkative. He certainly likes you enough to give information, and you've kind of offered to buy something at a later time and, hang out some more.
I'm wondering what else anybody could think to buy him. I can't really think of anything that would really help us. I guess the only question I can think of is, have you seen do they seem armed? But he might not even know that.
How tough or armed do they seem typically would be a good one to ask.
They seem to carry a number of weapons, and from the noticed it, some of them had weapons built into their armor. Simple things. Seems that they have a penchant for phasers, but also blades and explosives. I respect all of those things. The Great War has many weapons, though Klingons usually have a penchant for being up close and personal. He'll kind of like, give the Klingon smile, so it's the pointed teeth, He's also like an older Klingon, so like kind of graying hair too,
while they're talking, I'm just gonna use my engineering tricorder to see if I can pick up anything.
Sure. Roll me a reason engineering. What are you trying to detect with it?
There's a lot of things I want to, but this is a one-shot, so just the tachyon radiation.
That would, I'd say, would be reason science to detect that. You could still use your tricorder. I will say it's still one difficulty less. It's only going to be difficulty. It'll be difficulty 2.
Okay.
Even with your engineering tricorder, because of the interference from the atmosphere.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh.
You're not reading anything right now. The interference is too much. You might not be close enough to where it is right now. And there's a lot of, like, stuff going on in the town, so you might be getting interference with that also.
Yeah, and I mean, mine does have half the range of a normal tricorder.
Mm-hmm. It was less difficulty, but certainly, yes. Unfortunately. Okay, you can head for the bar that was mentioned. The bar/pub.
I am constantly watching to eye out for surprises or otherwise hostile people.
Okay. It is the Black Sun Bar that you've been instructed to go to. It's a place that looks like it's kind of like a slightly kind of like a basement bar to a building, kind of very open, kind of like a very circular kind of open area in the middle, with all kinds of like strange alcohol. Some of them are recognizable. You can see things like some Klingon ale, some Romulan. Is it also ale? I can't remember. No, Klingon blood wine, Romulan ale. Like a couple other like stuff from around the Alpha and Beta quadrants, and a couple things that seem a little bit more exotic. You can see on display back there. There's like lots of groups of people kind of huddled up. There seems to be like some kind of card game going on somewhere. You can see like there's like a group of Orions that are arm wrestling, and you can see like kind of in this back corner, you can see the sign of like this man that seems to be wearing full body armor. Seems to be metallic, shiny metal armor.
Steph, perhaps you could do a quick scan of the area, of the people in this room, see if their biological readings match what you found already.
Sure. Reason medicine?
Reason medicine.
Would genetics have anything to do with any of this? Probably not.
Probably not at this point in time. Okay, you'll kind of give a scan of the area, and certainly you'll pick up the life signs, a similar life sign to what you read before, coming from the man or the person in armor, but you're still getting interference.
Probably from the armor, maybe?
Probably from the armor.
Well, if that's the case, I look at the others and I say, well, as soon as he spots our uniforms, the joke's going to be up. So I say we take a more direct route. But before I move at all, I want consent from all of the ground crew.
Something tells me I'm not going to be able to talk that one down. I could try, of course. But they did steal from us, so...
They attacked our ship. I think we're past talking.
There's a large thumping noise all of a sudden, and then there's this cheering as like one of the Orions like wins the arm wrestling contest that was going on. And he's just like kind of like got his arms there, goes, yeah, yeah.
Phrases to stun, as it were. Bob, perhaps you and I should keep an eye on the surroundings while they talk to this man, so we do not encounter any surprises.
Actually, I was thinking I could stand over there, as I am significantly harder to damage than the rest. I could provide excellent attraction.
Yeah, the good doctor, and I think Charlotte should probably hold our flank, and then myself, Bob and Steph can go in just in case things do get violent. Having them nearby would be probably good. Say the good doctor. I meant to say LaForge.
Yeah, it's like doctor and step. That's the same person.
Lieutenant Lieutenant LaForge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lieutenant LaForge and Charlotte.
Damn it, Benedict, I'm an engineer, not a doctor. I also am not.
Don't you have like 3 doctorates? You were telling me. Is
There's
that
a difference, Benedict? There's a stark difference between a doctorate and a doctor.
PhD.
But I do appreciate the compliment, as it were. I should mention my skill at combat is not the greatest, though. So.
Precisely, I want to keep you guys out of harm's way, if at all possible. But if we get flanked, then better that we
If
know.
need be, I have a few tricks up my sleeve, and she'll like knock on a metal leg.
I can see things well. That's about it.
Well, this is the one part where my expertise come in, and I'm gonna sort of gesture to the others that I'm going, and I'm gonna walk right up to the guy in the armor.
Well, you'll see he seems to be sitting at a table with 2 others. You can see like one of them is obviously a woman, and the other one's a male. They seem to have like basically like the full body armor, like, you know, face shields and everything. It looks like they've opened up like the bottom of their face shields to drink and stuff. It does obviously look like these do function as like, you know, maybe like environmental suits too.
Okay.
They seem to be just enjoying like some drinks and sitting very nicely together.
Okay. So I'm gonna walk over, give the whole walk up, arms crossed as I sort of look over them, and I'm going to say, well, I believe you have something that is ours.
The one that you saw earlier will kind of put down his drink and be like, I do not know what you talk about.
Well, a small ship.
Are you blaming us to have stolen something from you?
I say, I'm not blaming you specifically. I'm saying that there is a small group of individuals that came and stole something from us, and you are among those matching the description. And our scanners are showing that it's showing that they had similar life signs, or was it like these are the people?
Similar life signs. You really can't detect individual basis unless you get really deep medical scans, you know? So like just normal life signs will be like, it's a human, it's whatever this is, you know?
I say, yours is a unique people here. I understand you're a part of a small group. At least some of your small group were involved. If you were not personally responsible, I would have you lead us to your kinfolk, that we may speak with them.
If you have issue with our kinfolk, you have issue with all of us.
Then my first statement stands. You've stolen something that's ours. I've come to take it back.
I do not take kindly to having you blame us as common thieves.
It wasn't common at all. You came upon the ship that was directly looking for ambushes. You're able to sneak in through subspace to disable our ship and get away before we were able to get back online. These were not common criminals. They were skilled. Unfortunately for you, our team is as skilled at tracking as you are at evading. Better, perhaps.
Why don't you either give me a presence command if you're trying to be diplomatic, or presence security if you're trying to be intimidating?
I'm intimidating.
Okay.
Intimidate these people.
I would like to. What's our momentum at right now?
Momentum's at max.
All right, so
Spend as much as you want.
I'm
And,
gonna
like,
buy
if you want
2
to,
dice.
Go for it.
I'm buying 2 dice,
I
so that'd
can
be
help.
3 momentum. Put me at 4 dice.
Okay.
And so yeah, this doesn't affect it. I don't have any focuses here. All right, so that's just it.
And
Okay.
Bob, you said you're gonna help.
Let me rephrase. I'm going to stand there and look similarly imposing.
Okay.
So
Then you can roll presence command 2 to look actually no, roll presence security then to look imposing and not say anything.
Yep. That's the idea.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Wow.
We are scary.
What was the difficulty?
This is not one that you can gain momentum on, this type of roll.
Okay.
Because, you know,
Fair.
this is like, you know. So, you do your best to be intimidating, and, like, the other two will kind of, like, put down their drinks, and you'll notice that they'll kind of start to reach down there, but the one that next to you will kind of reach up a hand all of a sudden. You know, like, to stop them. As if maybe they were reaching for weapons.
Yep.
You know. He'll go... Seems like you have a conviction to you, and a warrior spirit. I respect that. Know this. If our people were contracted to acquire something, it was to retrieve stolen property. What would I tell you if that were to be our motives?
Stolen, you say?
Stolen.
Then I think instead of collecting property, we would here be collecting information. If what you say is true, and I have no reason to believe that you would lie to me in this situation, then we would find whose property it is and make sure that the rightful owners receive this property.
Your fleet of stars seems quite interesting. We are new to your sector of space. Nomads, wanderers. Perhaps we can negotiate working with you sometime. I cannot reveal everything about our contractors, but we can give you basis to make your decision then. And hopefully it'll make you back off. We were hired by some people who were unscrupulously robbed. Now these people could go to the public. But let's put it this way. It would be an embarrassment that they were stolen from. I'm sure members of your fleet of stars would not like certain things to come out sometimes, and would rather keep things very discreet. That is where we came in. We were required to acquire what was stolen. Unfortunately, we do not have technical expertise to remove what was stolen. So we took all that it was used in.
There is something I wish to mention. Something that I think may be prudent for you to know. That it was damaged when it was taken. And without proper technical advisement and perhaps repair of the payload device, it's possible that damaged property may be dangerous. Even if we were not to collect the property, I would ask that you consider having some of our scientists who specialize in these things take a look at it and make sure that it's not dangerous to continue transporting.
I'm gonna need to roll a presence command on this one.
I'm not lying if that
No.
matters at all.
This is like this. You're moving. You kind of were intimidating him first. This is a point in time where you're trying to negotiate. So I really do need a presence command for this one.
Okay.
This one I will set a difficulty for, because this is rather than kind of like opposed by their own stats. This is they've built up a certain difficulty to it. This will be difficulty 3, and I will increase the complication range just because of certain factors here. So complication range of 2.
Okay.
Difficulty 3. You do have Bob there to assist in some way, if Bob wants to chime in or provide some other kind of assistance.
What's your presence command look like, Bob?
My presence command looks like 12.
All right, that's not bad. I have a 13. So.
Alternatively, you could have someone with technical expertise try and elucidate on the danger of it.
That, I would say, would be presence science to express it correctly, but you could do that.
Okay, that sounds better.
Is that something that you're better at?
That's 13.
If it's presence science, I'm down to 11. so that's not terrible,
Well,
but
Well, no, like
Well,
you
you can
could
still
do
be
your normal
prepared.
negotiation.
oh,
Like,
okay.
Bob.
And then basically you assist with the present science. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Is that okay?
That's
Tennis?
perfectly fine.
Perfect. Do we want to? I think this role is important enough that we spend more momentum. At least like get one die.
Yeah.
I'd say
Anyone
one at
disagree?
most.
Yeah, I'd say just one at most. All right. Just maybe you buy the dice because you are at well, what's your total with present science?
13.
Again? 13. Oh, okay, so we're even. So I guess I'll buy it because I'm supposed to be leading anyways. Okay, so in this complication range 2.
Yep, both of you at the same complication range 2.
Cool. All right.
Oof.
Oh,
Wow.
This is 2 complications. Should we buy off one of them? It's 2 momentum to do that.
yeah.
That brings down to 0.
It would take you
Or
down
do
to
we
0.
do 2 complications.
On the other hand, that's 2 complications.
Yeah, I think we eat we take the 2, get just 1 complication.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
we're down to 0.
Yeah,
Before I
2
would allow-
successes, which I don't even think that's not a success either, right?
Okay, so the man will go. It seems reasonable to take care of such an issue, but the people we are meeting with are arriving soon. Perhaps if you could negotiate with them to have access of the device. And perhaps if you could convince them to keep it secretive. We have no need to hide the identity once they show up, because they would be arriving and you are already here. We have no need to warn them. It is not within our code. It is not our way to interfere with your ability to communicate with them.
This is the way.
I mean, you know who they are, totally.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I will sort of give like a respectful sort of
On
like
this would, with the other folks who are standing back, just give me a, I guess insight command, no, insight, either insight command or insight security to kind of keep an eye on things.
Okay.
Like one of them, so you're like tactically looking around, the other way you're kind of like reading the crowds and stuff.
I got a 14.
I have
Just
Oh,
this is kind of like a
insight
general
command,
perception
so-
on the situation right now.
Oh, are we both rolling 2 dice?
I want you to just each roll individually is what I mean.
Oh, okay. Bam.
Okay. Okay. So Meowdy and Steph will notice a pair of cloaked individuals will come in and first kind of go up to the bar for a while. They'll actually be like kind of take notice of your presence here, and Charlotte, you can easily tell they're trying to kind of keep their distance from you folks.
Okay. I will point this out to the other 2.
Man.
Yep.
the
I'm
one
gonna
time
share mine with
that I
Dale-
could
with
use constantly
Stefan.
watching.
This is why I wanted you to be watching with us, but you're watching.
That's
those
what I mean.
people.
Like, it was helpful for you to be over there, but I was planning for this in some way. I was either going to have to spend threat, but you gave me the complication, so I just was able to use it without spending threat. Thank you for that. You know, I was going to have them show up either way, but I didn't have to spend threat to do it. But yeah, Bob's constant watching would have been perfect. I was hoping you would stay on watch until they sent you in instead.
I could
Yeah,
try.
this is why I originally wanted you on watch with us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There is something that Steph can do, though.
Scan the life signature stuff.
You can do that.
Do it.
Is that more reason medicine?
It is more reason medicine.
I doubt genetics matters in this.
No.
Okay.
Let's do a complication range 2. Oh, okay. That's fine. Oh, God. You just killed it. So it doesn't matter. Screw that. And let me just stick this here anyway. You got no failure. I was going to give you increase the complication range, but that doesn't matter. Anyway.
Oh, it's a 1 and a 5.
It's 1 and a 5. It doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah. They are Romulans.
I will point that out to whoever is standing right next to me,
Uh,
which is what I expected.
yeah. You're not sure if, like, they seem to probably be, like, maybe watching you, but So, what's your plan? You got these two groups. You've got these Romulans have shown up, and you've got your other team, and you got the two that are talking to these armored individuals.
I can just go punch the Romulans.
I could speak to the Romulans, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at getting people to trust me, as you've seen.
Benedict and Bob want to inform Charlotte of what they've learned. You do have communicators. Clickety click, clickety click.
Are the not Mandalorians gonna tell us when they're?
They just said they're showing up very soon. It's when they're expected.
Probably have also communicated to one of them, hey, there's two Romulans here.
Okay.
Right, well, the Romulans are here. I'm sorry.
How will you let us know when your contractors have arrived?
They know where to find us.
Ah, so they'll be coming here, and you're waiting for them.
They might wait until you depart. But yes.
Oh, makes sense. Well then, excellent doing business with you.
Indeed.
Shall we?
Yeah. So, when we're leaving, I say to Bob, you think that guy was just kind of bullshitting us? I couldn't really get a good read on him.
It didn't seem like it, and meanwhile we can hopefully avoid them necessarily realizing why we're here if we go off and follow them afterwards to a less public space.
I can agree with that.
Okay. So, are you informing Charlotte what you've heard, and then Charlotte, you could talk to the Romulans?
Yeah, if Charlotte says she wants to talk to the Romulans, I trust her to be able to try to communicate best with them.
Then the information that is provided is effectively. Can you guess what it is? Because I think you inserted.
The missile components for the torpedo were stolen, presumably from Romulans, and it is damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Needs repaired before it potentially goes off.
Effectively, the singularity technology was probably stolen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So they really wanted that component back, but they're getting the entire missile because that's what they're going about. And most likely these Romulans didn't want it to be known that they got whatever happened stolen from them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually a really good point I didn't even think about. So yeah, we're giving them like a missile versus like they just need their
need the technology back and it repaired. Anyway, you want to go to those Romulans and maybe negotiate with them?
Yeah, Charlotte is gonna go and try to negotiate with some Romulans.
They'll kind of be like, as you're kind of approaching, like, you know, they'll wait till you get close and be like, without revealing themselves, they'll be like, do you need something? One of them will say.
Yes. I believe we have a mutual interest in something that has been stolen, something that actually belongs to you that has been stolen.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Perhaps a quiet table would be better to discuss this.
Fine, Starfleet, but you have only a few minutes to speak.
Right, so I guess we go to like a quiet table in the back somewhere.
Like a little away from everybody else, you know, yeah, certainly.
She will kind of lean in. The torpedo. We are aware that some mercenaries were perhaps hired by you to get it back. We are also now presently aware it has technology that belongs to you that is stolen from you. And that was an issue because had that information become present and known to me, quite honestly, I would be more than happy to let you take the technology within it back, and we just take the torpedo components. However, there is another issue. It is damaged, and if it is not repaired, it detonates, and that would not be the best for this planet or anyone on it at the present moment?
Roll me a presence command. I'm gonna... You know what? Let's go for a difficulty 3 here.
Would disarming nature or diplomacy apply?
Diplomacy certainly would apply. You're trying to be diplomatic, and
Okay.
because you're, you don't have any momentum right now, right?
Nope.
I don't think we do.
Then I will let your disarming nature apply in this case
Okay.
because of that. Just because I'm not going to punish you for having no momentum. Well, you could actually give me threat. That's true.
I could actually use bold con.
Oh.
And this is kind of bold.
But is that
So,
bold
yeah.
con, not command?
Bold. I do have bold command as well.
Okay.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
read
you
the
can
wrong.
use bold command then and give me threat for some extra dice.
You know what? Why not? Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's give the DM
Okay.
some threat.
So then I'll say it's just a difficulty 3 because your disarming presence is kind of like a meh for applying here. Okay. How much threat are you giving me now? You can spend it just like momentum.
So what is the
One
Right.
dice will be for 1. It'll cost you 3 to purchase 2 dice and 6 to purchase 3 dice.
Okay, what is the group's opinion on this? How many dice do you think I should grab? Because I am having a focus applied to this for diplomacy as well.
Honestly, I don't think it wouldn't be out of line to go for the 3 extra dice, just because this is like the big roll.
Is that what everyone is okay
We're,
with?
we're near the end of the session, and it is a one-shot.
Yeah,
Technically,
fine.
kind of
Yeah,
metagaming a bit here,
Yeah.
but
I'm gonna do some stuff if you give me a lot of threat. If you give
Yeah.
me just a little threat, I'm still gonna use some of this threat. But the amount you're gonna
Fuck
give
it, let's see
me.
what happens.
I would say maybe one.
Okay, so
two.
just
2.
2? Okay.
2 dice, 3
I'll
threat.
do 2 dice.
3 threat. Okay, I can live with that.
So I'd be rolling 4 dice.
Mhm.
Focus applied.
Yep.
Oh!
So
Charlotte does it again.
you will build 2 momentum. So you're back to 2 momentum, and they will be like, very well, Starfleet, but I want you to know, we would rather if you punish the one that stole from us, you keep it not because he stole from us. Do you understand my drift?
Of course.
He managed to get away with something that should have been secure within Romulan borders.
This matter will be handled with the utmost discretion, as
And we would rather that formal involvement of us are kept out of your public records.
of course. And given that we are both out of the tail end of a war, I would rather not risk anything to restart another one.
It was the fault of one of your Federation citizens that this occurred.
Yes.
Very well. We will finish the deal with our contacts. And before we gather our component, you may remove it from your component and make sure that it is stable if it is damaged, as you say. The rest is up for you to ensure, well, returns to your space. As much as it would be prudent to gain control of something like that, explanation for why we acquired it would be difficult.
Yes. Of course.
Does not mean that we wouldn't find uses for it. Alright. To speed things along a little bit, they will finish their negotiations with their totally not warrior-based armored race that may have had some series named after it in a different universe.
Or maybe some baby involved in it, I don't know.
Maybe some baby involved in it. Anyway, you'll be taken to a ship where there is a torpedo, which I'm gonna spend some threat on.
Yeah.
Yay!
Good luck. Have fun.
So not only do you have to...
Thanks.
So now you will require 2 checks, and they will be more difficult checks. I'm not spending all my threat. I'm buying 2 complications. 1, turns out it's been armed. You have to disarm it.
Oh, fuck.
It hasn't
I have
gone
a
off.
hyperspanner.
You have a hyperspanner.
Hey!
Hyperspanners can disarm bombs.
And the second check will be to, of course, remove it from its housing successfully and safely. The component that has the micro-singularity within it. So, I'm going to put the disarming the bomb at difficulty 3. Removing the component without damaging it any further, since it is already damaged, difficulty 4. Both raising engineering. You could probably get help from someone.
Not for me. Good
Not
luck.
me.
So, engineer I may be, but bomb technician I am not. I would not mind any assistance on this.
I'm saying you could also probably use reason security maybe on it. Or wait, since you're disarming a bomb, daring security.
Yeah.
That is that is a 17 for me.
Then you're gonna have your security expert get in there and disarm the bomb. You have the hyperspanner he can use because he didn't have the tools for it. So you're like, use my hyperspanner, and he's like, oh.
Okay, well, so is anybody? So I would be leading then.
Yes, and Meowdy would probably be
Well-
assisting you with reason engineering.
So, we still have some things to consider here.
Mm-hmm.
This first check is difficulty 3. We need 3 successes.
Mhm.
We only have 2 momentum.
Yep.
Right after this, we have a difficulty 4 check.
But this one's to disarm the bomb. Is my
That's
thing.
the more important one, I feel.
Yeah, if that
Because
blows
that
up, we all
goes off, we
Hold on.
all die.
You might
That
also
part is
build
important.
momentum.
Well, the thing is, the bomb's armed, but it doesn't have a timer. It's not a timer-based bomb.
Well,
It is armed.
It's probably it's thematically counting down or something like that.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
you'll disarm it at the last second if we're going by the show's logic.
Disarming that is very important. The other check is also just as important, though. We're dealing with removing a damaged micro-singularity, which a complication could make it go boom as well, regardless of diffusal.
You're right.
Yeah, so micro black hole is still a black hole.
Exactly.
So
Could
the thing
also
we're
gain-
looking at 3 successes on 3 dice if we spend no momentum. So, Tantis, I want to try to use my Spirit of Discovery ability, using my value of either Scarred by Failure or Loyal to a Fault. I feel like either of those would apply there. I think Scarred by Failure is definitely like my character is sweating bullets. I know that this is so I think that
I think if you want to use your value scarred by failure, that you've been hurt by failure before and you do not want to fail, I will allow that one. Sure, I can see that one. I can definitely see that one as like this is something you do not want to fail. You're going to spend your determination to give you 3 momentum.
3 momentum.
So does that just go to the momentum pool?
It
or-
does.
It goes right to the momentum pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, we could
We
each
buy one here.
a dice here, and we still
I-
can buy a dice each on the next one.
I absolutely agree with that.
All right. So 2 down. You roll 3 dice. I roll 2.
Wait, I didn't give you a complication. I'm going to be a little
not?
crazy on this one because it is a ticking time bomb. And you know what? I'm going to spend a couple more threat just to make a
Well,
complication range of 4 for this one that may have an effect on removing it afterwards.
Our
You are
DM's trying to
fine.
kill us.
Hey, you're welcome. This is why I made this character for fun.
Okay.
Question.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Can I help instead?
Possibly.
Why?
DM.
Because,
I'm sorry.
because if I get damaged,
Well,
I have backups.
The thing
goes
is,
off.
if this goes off, we're all dead.
Yeah.
And I've got
planet's
the better
dead.
stats for it. And like, thing is, Benedict doesn't know any of the engineering side of what's going on here.
Well, I mean, he knows the basics of, like, probably how a photon torpedo
Oh no,
works.
I wasn't planning to replace you.
So replace me?
Yes.
Well, again,
Would
the
we
thing is,
then
should
not
get
get
off
the
that.
momentum?
Yeah, you'd
because
have to
you-
have
no,
that.
he needs to because he's the reason we have the momentum.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
Benedict would
have to
do
be
it.
part of the check to be able to use this ability.
Yeah.
So we'd be going with just 2 momentum if I back out.
And realistically, if anybody gets hurt, it means the bomb went off and we're all dead anyway, except for you.
Yeah.
You'll be fine, hologram.
You will be
So,
fine.
There is one last thing I need to ask, just because I don't know exactly how it works. If I wanted to buy a die with threat at this point, since I already bought a die with momentum, would I be spending 3 threat because it's like a second die, or would it just be the normal 1 threat? Because I'd be buying my first die, I'm buying with threat.
It would be.
I would like to use my bold security.
I think it would be. Each cost is separate, so you could buy one with threat that way.
Keep in mind, more dice is more complication.
I'm on down to 1 threat, and if you give me an extra threat, I'd have 2, which could mean 1 more complication.
If I use my bold,
I don't think it's a good
I
idea.
don't think we should use bold.
You're already rolling 3 die. I'm rolling 2. 5 die, 3.
And I've already said difficult complication range of 4, which is a lot.
Yeah.
We've already gotten spicy enough with my bold.
If anything, I'm gonna run these really quick by you, Tantus. Do any of these apply? Computers, electroplasma power systems. Actually, literally just those 2. Or actually, cooperative leadership, because I'm working with him cooperatively, trying to lead him through these.
You know what? Sure, I'll give you cooperative leadership on this one, because you're the one he's the primary roller because he knows more about it, but you're giving him like this advice, is what you're kind of it's the way you're putting yours things. So I will allow that one for you.
Chief of engineering.
Yeah.
I have no focuses for this.
You do not. So
you ready for this, Benedict?
No, but I am ready.
Roll
Let's
your
do this.
3
I'm
dice
not either. Let's do
and
this.
2 dice.
Oh God! Well, that's a success. That's a success.
It's a success. You currently have how much?
3 momentum. We could buy 1 of those off.
Okay.
I say we eat the because the thing is, if we do that, if we buy one of those off, that's 2 momentum. It means we can only buy 1 dice for the next check. Complications don't mean we fail. It just means that things might be
gonna get harder though.
Thing is, complications could raise the target, or I don't know what all they can do. I don't know the system well enough.
The difficulty can only go up by 1, but the complication range could also increase, or I could do something else.
Yeah,
true. So I'll leave it up to you because I always want to risk it, but that's just me.
Decision, Umber.
I don't want to.
Do it.
You can use your bold security on the next one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Theoretically.
So that could get us a die.
That's true.
Oh fuck. We're gonna negate one of those complications.
Okay. All right. Let me see. What do I want to do with my other complication?
Yeah.
Look, we defused the bomb. That's the important bit. The bomb's defused.
Defuse the ticking time bomb. It's not going to explode. You know what?
Cool.
I'm going to. You've managed to defuse it. You can now try to remove it. It seems a little unstable now.
Of course it is.
I'm going to put the complication range at 3 for your 4 dice.
I have maybe faith.
Mm-hmm.
I say that I pay with threat now because I need the 3 dice. We need to get 4 successes.
What does the bold do? Does it give you?
It makes it so if I spend threat to buy a dice, I can re-roll. You may choose a single discipline when you select this tableau. Whenever you attempt a task with that discipline, you may buy 1 or more d20s by adding threat. You may re-roll a single d20.
Okay. Now, in this one, you would probably want to be the assistant and roll, because this is going to be reason engineering, which you're not great at.
Oh, God. Oh, I shouldn't be a part of this at all if I can switch out with someone. I have a fucking 8.
Oh.
I'm daring and security are my big things, but am I stuck in this now?
You are not stuck in this. You are not stuck in this. You've disarmed the bomb. You can switch out. Sure.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I have collaboration science.
Mm-hmm.
Could I allow our security expert to use my score for science and my focus of composure?
What's the collaboration say exactly?
Collaboration says You must choose a single discipline when you select it.
Mhm.
Whenever an ally attempts a task using that discipline, you may spend 1 momentum to allow them to use your score for that discipline and one of your focuses.
Okay.
The only thing is we don't necessarily need to do that, and also since we're not using security in this one, I can't even use my bold ability.
Yeah.
So I'm
well,
effectively useless now.
I mean, you could probably still roll. I'd allow you to roll reason security, I think, because it still is a photon torpedo that you're removing the power systems from. I'd allow you to roll
bump
that.
it up from 8 to 12.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. And if you gave me your so yeah, if you so it would
Like
be
I would
worth
say,
it
like
to
there
the
could be arguments for using like science or engineering for this too. You know, kind of things like science, engineering, or security, because it's a photon torpedo and it is a micro black hole that you're trying to remove the systems for. Like you can give me argument for any of those three. Reason's the easy one.
So if I have this, if I was able to use security, I'd be able to use my bold talent, which is the big thing.
You know what? I actually feel like reason is not as good on this one. I think, you know, because this is like you're trying to like take apart something that's a little unstable. So maybe control security or control engineering. Let's say, if you want to do that.
Control security is actually really good for me. I have a 9 in control, so that's
really bad for me.
Oh, I'm good at that.
Then maybe Bob can step in here for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more exacting.
Does my focus of composure help?
It would.
Excellent.
Because you do have an unstable black hole that you're trying to get out there safely. Because, you know, as long as it's removed, it should be fine. Like, it hasn't been damaged in such a way that it would be explosive or dangerous now. But it still is a lot more difficult to pull it out, you know. So that complication range of 3, difficulty 4. If you want to be bold and or use some momentum, you've got a little bit of momentum left. You've got a little bit of boldness left in you.
Carpe, what is your control engineering?
Control engineering is 14, as is control science.
And I have 14 as well for my my control security.
I have, if we argue for reason engineering, I have a 16 and a focus. I don't have any talents that apply to it though. Like,
yeah. I don't know if having the higher score or having like the focus is better. I think the focus is better because we need more successes. Honestly. That's my thing, is that we need the successes, so having a higher
either way,
score...
we need you in there for the security so you can use bold.
Yeah. Okay.
For additional dice, because we can only buy currently 1 dice with momentum.
So basically, the difference is 2 points and a focus. So we either are rolling at a 14 with a focus, or a. Did you say you had a focus actually? With your 16?
Wait, no, it's a 16 and a focus, or a 14 with a talent that can give bonus dice. That's the big thing.
No. For me, it's a 14 with a focus.
Yeah, so
like
Umber,
I don't think your focus would apply anymore. What was?
Well, the question is, would you allow the
cooperative
reason,
leadership? Yeah. So both of you would have a focus.
Because like basically, Benedict has to be there. We need you for the bold security.
Yeah. So the question is Tantus, are you okay with still doing the reason science? Was the original one that you said?
Reason engineering.
If not, then Bob has to step in.
Yeah.
I feel like in this situation, because of the complications from before, I'm going to say no, unfortunately.
Okay. Then in that case, we want Bob to step in.
Yeah.
All right, Bob. I am giving you 2 threats, Tantus, so I can or whatever threat I have to spend to get an extra dice.
You're gonna go down in momentum. You're gonna go up. You'll give me a threat, so you'll get an extra dice and can re-roll 1. So Bob, I guess, will roll with
2
dice.
Am I taking the lead because I have the focus?
You both have.
I don't think it matters who if you have focus, you still roll. It's just you would get less.
No, I think Benedict needs to lead so that he can use his bold security. Because
Do I need to? I don't think that.
I don't think you have to do that as long as you purchase with.
okay.
Yeah, as long as
Yeah,
I'm helping with
Benedict,
the task.
Benedict, I don't think has a focus. So yeah, maybe Bob leading would probably be good. And
Bob
Benedict
leads,
assisting.
I'd have 2 dice with my purchase.
Yeah.
And you can have 3 dice if you purchase with momentum.
And we need 4 successes.
Yep.
Yes, sir. All right.
Good luck.
All right.
Please take the wheel.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Nope. He's got a reroll.
Benedict does have a reroll.
I know.
Reroll that complication. Reroll that complication. Please be a
That's
success.
exactly what I'm rolling the complication. All right.
Come on. It's a 2 in 4 chance.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
God.
You will manage to remove the microsingularity.
Oh fuck.
Holy shit.
There will be a complication, though.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Of course.
The unfortunate thing will be that I'm going to say this just to keep it like a little nice for you. This would be for a long-term story. Might have an effect. The systems that remained in the torpedo are damaged beyond repair.
That's fine.
So right now,
That's
the only
fine.
one that knows anything about it is a doctor who might be less than cooperative at sharing his technology at this point in time because he's probably been found out that he stole the microsingularity.
Yeah, except he's currently on our ship.
He
So I'm
is.
less
Yeah, and
worried
the
about
torpedo casing is now Starfleet property. Too bad, Doctor.
Yeah, but effectively, you would need him, which would be very difficult to get him to cooperate at this point in time. I'm going to kind of put it out there.
We'll let the police deal with that, or whoever gets sent to interrogate him.
So now that you've... Well, regardless, you couldn't study any more of this easily, to recreate it. Unfortunately, the quantum torpedo, as cool as it would have been and interesting to help develop, it's probably been set back by years, unfortunately. Story-wise. Why? We'll kind of resolve things quickly here. So the Romulans will go on their way with what they had. The mysterious strangers will continue to patrol this area here, acting as mercenaries. And your ship will return back to the planet that you were originated from, at least right away, to Karen, where more than likely you will deal with the repercussions of this doctor having stole something. But you also really can't arrest him because Romulans will deny everything.
Yep.
There's no evidence of what he did. And more than likely at this point in time, because you know what happened, and he might know that you know kind of things, that you came back with the torpedo case without the thing inside of it, he's probably going to shut down and not talk about it anymore.
Completely fair.
So whatever will happen with that, that would probably be something that might be in a long-term campaign we would deal with. There might be like another episode down the line where something happens with this dude. I don't know. Maybe I'd spend threat and turn him into a villain, or maybe he'd do something else that's very stupid and you'd have to save him or something like that. I don't know.
Bomb kaboom averted.
Bomb
Yes,
kaboom
that's
averted.
the important part.
Holy.
The main issues
like
convert.
nail biting. Like.
Or
Oh my
someone
God.
hires those mercenaries to kill him.
That was terrifying.
Oh, God. The fucking 1-1-1 2 complications.
You gave me so many complications at the end there.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we went from the early game where we didn't roll a single failure to this where we didn't just fail. Every single fail was a complication.
And I gotta say, like, those weren't even, like, super, like, difficult complication rates. Yes, I said, like, complication 3 on that last one. That's still an 18, 19, or 20 you have to roll.
The one before that was a 4, I should point out. That's pretty severe.
Yes.
Okay, that was scary.
It's also, Tantus, both of those zeros were 18s.
Oh, God, they were exactly what you needed with that complication. Which the only reason the complication of the second check went up was because you had a complication left over from the one before. Anyway.
Oh, the ones before that were a 20 and an 18 as well.
We definitely went a little later than I wanted to, but we did resolve the story pretty well. And it looks like we had a great time doing it. You managed to meet the totally not Mandalorians.
Legally distinct people in armor with a warrior culture and weapons in their suits.
Yeah. Legally distinct.
Legally distinct. They're different.
They're different. They're very different. These are Star Trek warriors in armored suits with weapons all around, with a warrior culture that talk about they have some kind of way of doing things.
Yeah.
Yes. And their armor is probably made of some strange metal like Veskar or Leskar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Totally. And they may or may
some
not have
strange mouse cannot copyright.
And they totally didn't have jetpacks. They may have had hover packs, but not jetpacks.
Yeah.
Legally distinct, yes.
Our technology's too advanced to rely on something as preposterous as fuel jetpacks.
I know.
So,
Anybody want to give shout-outs to where to find them, anything like that, as we kind of finish up here?
Tuesdays on Tantus's channel, the Carpe Diem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sometimes on the Monday stream.
Yeah.
This game.
Both of those are 2 p.m. EST.
Tantus's channel.
You really should watch the Vampires game. It kicked off.
The Vampire game has always kicked off. It's just it comes in weird spurts.
It kicks off.
It like
Vampire goes through lulls, but then when it spikes, it shoots to the fucking moon.
I mean,
literally,
even the lulls aren't bad. Like, I'm sorry.
Technically, the moon shot to us.
Yeah.
Oh, my apologies. You're right.
Yeah.
When the spikes happen, the moon comes to Earth.
Yeah. Eric, do you have anything to shout out?
Yeah, I have my own stream I do on Saturdays at Twitch Games. So I'm going to be starting a Soulsborne race with my buddy. We're just going to try to beat all 3 Soulsborne games that we talk about, and do it as quick as possible. So that's always fun.
Just if you can type, are you in the Twitch chat? Yeah. Just spell out Twitch Games, not the link, because it probably will complain about the link. But Twitch.tv.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
That's me.
I was wondering who that was the entire time. I'm like, man, that's the person sticking around.
Anyway, lightning, any kind of thing?
Nope, not on any stream games.
Right. Thanks everybody for joining us. I had a real great time. Again, we went a little later than I wanted, but sometimes it's hard to do these judge these one-shots. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. What?
No more bombs.
Totally bombs. Oops,
my heart can't take it.
Oops, all bombs.
Oops, all bombs.
No more Bob.
You may have given me the complication of activating the bomb.
Listen.
I really enjoyed the complications and thread I spent at the end. I ended up with.
Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but like,
I still had 2 thread at the end. I could have done something else, but I had no reason to. I got to be honest. Like, I don't need to spend all my thread, and I feel like right at the end there was that big action intensity of the like culmination of everything went well. Anyway, I'm gonna be on here on this channel doing stuff tomorrow, or technically it's midnight for me, so later on today at 8:30 p.m. EST for Children of Wrath. Discussing tabletop Saturday 2 p.m. EST. A lot of 2 p.m. EST and some streaming at some point in time. Anyway, for now, thank you for joining us. Check out these people when they're on stuff. Have a great rest of your evening. May the 4th be with Star Trek. And until next time, farewell.
And here I thought we were
stay
gonna
positive.
One on all our
positive.
God, I'm just stopping.